Lex...
He lands on the moon? Yeah. They were near the sun.
The sun
and
has
then he goes to the moon.
Intense gravitational pull.
So they fly over to the moon. Hey everybody, welcome to Back-ish of Sal.
I'm Ben.
I'm very excited to talk about the last days of Lex Luthor. It's about time Lex Luthor finally kicked the bucket, and he does in this story here, or at least that's the premise of Superman, The Last Days of Lex Luthor, written by Mark Waid with art by Brian Hitch. This debuted, the first issue of this original Black Label series, in July of 2023 and concluded in June of this year, 2025.
Oof. Ouch.
How many issues was it?
Yeah, it doesn't
3!
Look, I was going to say,
Oh my
I don't think that's even
God.
5 issues. That's
No,
quite a thin
it
book.
was 3. First issue comes out, people are like, whoa! 2 long years later, the second issue comes out, and then like a couple months later, the third issue came out. And it was just like, whoa, 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 what?
Mark Waid just forgot.
No,
That is a weird-
no. Waid wrote this long ago. In fact, according to Mark Waid, this book was 8 years in the making. He had this idea 8 years ago when a previous administration at DC asked Mark Waid, who was kind of persona non grata at DC, not for anything that he did, but mostly because of who was in charge at the time. But they had just developed Black Label, and they were like, hey, someone over at Black Label was like, hey, Mark, do you have a Superman story? And he's like, not really. Plus, like, I'm not allowed to work at DC. You know, I know. And apparently, according to Waid, there's like a group of 90s creators who were blackballed at DC. And Mark was among them.
Well, they should be on Black Label then.
Exactly. They should actually change it to like the Black Ball. And like that's only where creators like Humberto Ramos and Mark Waid can work.
And he doesn't know why. I bet he knows.
Oh, well, yeah, of course he knows.
He knows what he did.
He didn't do anything.
You take a dump in one person's pool.
He probably asked for more money or something.
No, it's
like,
a
"Get
weird.
fucked."
It was a weird situation. I never really understood why Mark Waid was blacklisted from DC for a while, but during Mark Waid's exile over at Black Label, they asked him if he had a Superman story. He was like, no, and then immediately went home and was like, yes.
Oh wait, I forgot I do.
Yeah, and then called them back, and then they were like, okay, and so they started developing it, and then once it got to a certain publisher's desk, it disappeared, and they never called him again. Once that publisher was fired or left of his own accord, according to no official document, because we still don't know, they were like, oh shit, we got a Mark Waid book for Black Label. Yeah, let's do this. Before this book was even in the solicitations, I interviewed Mark Waid, and I was like, where's your Black Label book? And he's like, Clearly he was like, well, I was in deep development of one, and then like someone didn't let it ever get to the drawing phase.
Right. So you might see it, and then nothing's gonna happen after that for
about
like
2 years.
and then you'll see the rest.
You'll get
of
the
it.
first issue at least.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm gonna whet your appetites for a while.
I mean, look, they
building the
released a
anticipation.
third of the series in 2023.
That's true. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good for Big Two.
33.33%.
Mark Waid was playing with the idea of it being out of continuity. It dovetails out of Birthright, but the way that Mark Waid worked out Birthright, that was DC trying to reconcile Superman in continuity for a new millennium.
Right.
As opposed to this, where it's like, do whatever you want, and no one's gonna fact check you. And he's like, okay.
So it's like a spiritual successor to Birthright.
Yes.
Why is it called Superman, The Last Days of Lex Luthor? Why is it not just The Last Days of Lex Luthor?
Because who would buy that?
Also,
I
where am I going
guess.
to categorize it? I can't put it under, like, L.
I guess
just-
you could,
it's
because
so-
there are Lex Luthor books, but like, I think it's because it's about Superman. It's
It
not
is
like
about
it's
Super-
about Lex
Oh,
Luthor.
okay.
It's not
I
like
see.
that Azzarello book, Luthor.
Okay, so it's a Superman adventure about the last days of
That's
Lex
right,
Luthor.
exactly.
Oh.
No, it is demonstrably Superman, but the two main characters are Superman and Lex Luthor.
Yeah, but it's just Superman whistling and being like, he's dead. All right. Woohoo.
You'd think so. It's actually very interesting because that's what Waid is exploring. Waid also is excising a few of his frustrations because at this point they were not developing the new DC universe yet. And so, you know, the only Superman movie or interpretations they had were Zack Snyder's, which Waid has famously or infamously, depending on your love of those or lack thereof.
Yeah,
And
he
they
has
are
some thoughts.
Mark Waid has thoughts about Zack Snyder's interpretation of Superman, and they are well documented. And they may be in this book a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'd say to a tasteful degree. Brian Hitch drew this. I loved Brian Hitch's work on stuff like The Ultimates and The Authority. I did not love his monthly work on things like JLA, which was a much later period in his career.
How do you feel he does on a yearly issue?
Not bad. It's surprisingly enough,
Or less than yearly.
if you give him a year or two per issue, he can really knock it out of the park. It's classic Brian Hitch stuff. It's great. It's the best looking Brian Hitch book he has made in over a decade. And I think it's just because
look
he
really
needed
good.
the time. And I think he's the reason why the book took 2 years to come out.
Yeah, probably.
But you know what? Because it's out of continuity and it's a 3-issue mini,
Yeah, it doesn't
who
matter.
cares?
Yeah, whatever.
Because no one will remember.
I mean, what does it matter
Right.
if the issues were late? We're buying the trade anyway.
That's
yeah,
right.
How
When
many people bought individual floppies of this book?
I mean, I think a lot of people bought
first
the
one,
first
yeah.
issue
Yeah.
and then just forgot the book existed. And I know
Probably,
there was some concern, at least on Mark Waid's part, where he's like, will people remember this book exists? Like when issue 2 comes out, are people going to go, of what? You know, or are they going to be like, oh yay, and then finish it?
yeah.
I think it was more the latter.
I'd love to see the sales figures
Me
for issue
too.
1 versus issues 2 and 3.
It's got to be.
Because once issue 2 comes out, you already waited 2 years. Like you're trade waiting. Who in their right mind is not just waiting for the trade after already waiting 2 years?
I mean, I bought each issue,
okay.
but also because what a low stakes commitment it was.
True.
I was like, oh,
And you knew it was going to be 3 from the start?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They already
Yeah.
said it's a 3-issue mini.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, so my expectation is to buy a book a year. Yeah, I can do that.
I guess I can do
And then
that.
I'll get the hardcover,
guess.
which
I'll
came out
forget.
immediately. Yeah, the
Right.
But
third
I
issue
can do
dropped, and then they were like, and here's the hardcover, because it's been ready for like 6 months.
Okay.
There's a giant robot attacking a town. It's actually using harmonics to cause an earthquake that forces the town to fall into the ocean.
Well, it's purple and green.
Right?
Is it like lifting people up and then like smashing them down?
No.
No? Okay.
No, it is not a dubstep machine.
Weird.
It is just a big, crazy machine that apparently also was developed in India. Like, I love that it's this giant, monstrous doomsday weapon, and Superman is like, oh yeah, I remember when they were building this in India, and I'm like, who was building this? For what?
Yeah, what is it supposed to do?
Because clearly it is a death weapon piloted by Lex Luthor.
Right.
It's his colors.
I mean, until
Well, they
until
added
it's
the
actually
color later.
piloted for death,
Right.
we can't say exactly what it is.
Yeah, no, exactly. What was the Indian government doing with this damn thing? But we saw that, like, at the Daily Planet, Lois, Perry, Clark, Jimmy, they're there. Jimmy plays virtually no role in this, and thank you, because we don't need to
'Cause
shoehorn.
I'm so sick of them.
It's just like, I feel like a lot of folks go, oh, right, Jimmy, I gotta make sure, justice for Jimmy Olsen. That
Right.
miniseries that Mac Fraction worked on was so popular on Twitter. I gotta make sure that I pay homage to Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy's a great character, I do love Jimmy, but I'm just like, don't shoehorn Jimmy into this.
Right. There's
For
got to be
any
a
other
good
reason.
reason.
He's got to play a pivotal role. If he doesn't, just put him at the planet, have him go golly gee willikers and move on.
Right.
So he does. And of course he's wearing a bow tie because that's how Mark Waid remembers him. So there's this big monster destroying this like city out away.
McWhip?
Yes.
Is it?
McWhip?
It's creating earthquakes and causing a flooding like a tsunami.
It's
Kind of like Magneto.
Causing seawater to fill up fault lines,
which is causing
and
the whole city
sink
to
the island.
sink into the ocean.
Okay.
What's funny
So
is
it's someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's a very specific, targeted plan.
That's right. So Superman arrives on the scene, and because he uses his super hearing to know what the machine is doing, he then goes into the ground and ends up tunneling at a particular angle / depth and circumference that he creates anti-earthquake tunnel. Like when the harmonics that the machine are emanating hit those tunnels, it caused like a feedback loop that stops the earthquakes and keeps the city where it is. I'm like, that is what this book is. And also, it is kind of like an homage to Golden Age Superman in as much as that is outlandish and ridiculous and huge, and it would have far-reaching implications.
But Superman can do it.
But Superman can handle it, and I will do my damnedest to make it make sense within the context of this fictional universe.
It's weird that Superman doesn't just sing the reverse harmonics back to it.
Right?
Yeah.
To
We
know
cancel
he
them
can.
out.
Honestly, I mean, like, so that I think that actually demonstrates a fundamental difference between like these two beloved Superman auteurs. Like Grant Morrison would be like, well, Superman just uses his wish machine or sings at a frequency that ends that earthquake.
Yeah.
And Mark Waid is like, I talked to like a physicist who takes my questions seriously
Right.
and asked for solutions, mostly because I'm dealing with a genius. Because Lex Luthor is
Right, I
involved.
gotta come up with
I gotta
smart
come up with
things
smart
Lex Luthor
shit for
would
Lex
do.
Luthor to do or Superman to do to counter Lex Luthor's smart shit.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not just a death ray.
Again, this book more or less is just Wade being like, Superman is great. Here's why. Like, that's what this book is.
Right. He's meant to be awesome. He's not meant to be scary or
No.
like creepy or dark.
Okay, but that's not what this is about. This is about the last days of Lex Luthor.
That's true,
Yeah.
and he's a piece of shit. So, Superman flies overhead, and it's interesting because, like, one of the commentary, actually, there's an omniscient narrator that starts to explain what's happening in the story, and then Superman's internal monologue pushes it out of the way and goes, yeah, here's what's happening. And you're like, that's interesting to see that narrative device switch over to it's Superman's POV. And that
Right.
will be for the rest of the book.
Okay.
Superman immediately knows who's inside and piloting it at that point.
Well, yeah, it's purple and green.
Yeah. And so he rips open the cockpit, and Lex Luthor's there. He's like, took you long enough. And Superman then realizes the machine was commandeered, and then does a quick search and finds all the people that Lex Luthor murdered to commandeer this machine in the first place.
What was it for in the first place then?
It's what these people were working on. They were building this big machine. And then Lex like, I need this. And then killed all of them, and then took it, painted it, and then attacked the city.
Yeah. Yeah, he painted it.
Of course. Or he had other people paint it. And then had them dig their own graves.
Unless he hunts around for machines that are already purple and green.
Right.
I mean, he said India was developing a combat machine.
So it is aggressive.
built to destroy, but it's just they built it for a war.
Right, and not
And-
just for civilian attack.
Right.
Although I mean, who?
The size of it?
That's insane. Like,
Well, I mean, you could say the same thing about a bomb that can destroy a whole city in one
yeah,
shot.
yeah, that's true.
And it does have nuclear symbols all over it, so I would suggest that it may be a metaphor of some kind.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And India is a nuclear power.
yeah. That's true.
It's kind of like Lex stole a nuke.
It is like that, but it's also more golden age.
I also like the fact that India's like, yeah, we could make a nuke. Or we could make this giant death
that
robot.
runs off of the shit we have in nukes.
Yes. That's way more humane.
Anyway, Lex is like, all right, Superman, I did all this to get your attention.
That's
Well, you have it.
Oh, you could have ever heard of a phone?
That's what he's like. There were other ways of doing this instead of also just murdering these poor people who are working on this machine.
Yeah, but
Yes.
now I really have your attention. Like, nothing else is going
That's
to
right. You
drag.
are focused on me.
Yeah.
So anyway, why don't you take a look at me and figure out what's going on? And Superman, checks him out on a cellular level and realizes that he's done.
Oh, you have a boner.
Yeah, that's all the time though.
That's a side effect of my condition.
Sure.
Don't
the
flatter
condition being
yourself.
that you are in love with me. But yeah, he's dying. He's degrading on a cellular level. And so Lex explains how I was working on kryptonite, like I always am, and I was trying to come up with like ways of making synthetic kryptonite, and I bombarded it with like everything. I hit it with all this shit, and it just exploded.
Whoops.
And I was bathed in all kinds of just messed up crap. And then I went to the doctor and I checked myself out, and yeah, I'm dead.
I have, like, Kryptonian leukemia.
Exactly. By the way, this is also a version of kryptonite that is not like the kind you'll see in either cartoons or in post-crisis continuity, where it does emit a low-level radiation that will kill you. Green kryptonite is harmless to humans.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if I throw a whole bunch of other shit at it,
Right.
Just like
it might
anything.
then it'll
Make it.
just explode.
Here's a normal rock. It's
Yeah.
fine.
But if
Until
I-
I bombard it with different types of radiation.
At the very least,
Yeah.
it'll explode and hit me with pieces of itself. So
Okay.
anyway,
So he
Superman-
got what he deserved.
Oh yeah. No, he asked for it, and that's implicit in the text.
Yep.
Lex Luthor killed himself.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, he's like, I'm dying, and Superman's like,
Okay.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
And Lex is like, right there. That is why I called you. That's why I'm talking to you right now, because no one is sorry to hear that except for you. You're the only person who could see a value in me,
Right.
and that's why
You're like Jesus or something.
that's why you're not going to let me die, because I need your help.
No, I'm sorry that this happened to you.
But
I don't
I'm
think you
sorry
understand.
I didn't get to do it.
no,
Boot.
this is Superman who does not kill, and that is like the headline of this book.
Yeah.
The book is Superman does not kill.
And Superman's
but also
not
you
killing
don't
me.
have to
Not
save
killing
him.
That's right. Well, he's not Batman. But also, Lex Luthor kind of like pulls this maneuver on Superman where he's like, you know that I'm in peril. so now you have to save me.
You just
Right.
murdered how many
That's
people?
true.
That's right.
Just to give me
I
a
know.
message.
Yeah, that's
I know.
right.
But
No.
if I was about
Right.
to fall off a cliff, you wouldn't let me fall. You'd always save me. You always do.
Right.
This is the same thing.
That's
except
right.
It's a slow fall.
And it's interesting because
Except
actually,
you murdered
harder to
people
fix.
to fall off that cliff.
I
You
did.
didn't have to fall
I
off the
did.
cliff.
That's
well,
right,
I never
but I've
had to
murdered
murder any
hundreds
of the
of people
people I
before.
murdered and then almost died, and then you saved me.
And in fact, Wade had considered, and there was an original draft of this where he didn't kill those scientists and workers. But he's like, no, but like Lex is a piece of shit. Like,
But Lex would.
But Lex would.
But
And
is there a reason
the reason is
for
he-
the machine? Is there like some secret thing
no,
you find out at the end of the
no,
book?
machine is just a plot device. Just so because we won't have enough opportunities to put giant robots in this book.
well,
So let's open it with a giant robot and a double page splash at that. Drawn by Brian Hitch, widescreen comics again, baby.
Yeah.
We're back. Wade wanted to demonstrate the reticence that everyone would have of saving Lex. Like he wanted to illustrate
to be like really hard.
you need to be like
save him.
questioning Superman's decision to save Lex.
Right.
Which I am.
He's piloting
Yes.
a freaking mech robot with corpses in the trunk.
Yeah, for no reason.
Well, just to get Superman's attention,
which he could have done 1,000
by
other
just
ways.
whispering his name.
Yeah.
Because of course, Superman memorizes Lex's biochemistry and circulatory system so that he can tell when he's lying.
Right.
He can watch blood flow into his hippocampus. Like specifically, he's like, yes, I can mimic a lie detector machine, but A, those things don't work,
and I do.
and that's fake. And B,
But if Superman's running it, it does work because I'm Superman.
well, no, but that's horseshit. What I do instead is I measured how blood flows to the prefrontal cortex of Lex's brain when he's telling the truth versus when he's lying, and then I can differentiate between the two. Well, at least you use some scientific words, so I
Right.
appreciate the effort.
So you did something.
Right.
And there's some photos here. There's some X-ray type looking photos.
Yeah, like look at him.
Or
His heartbeat
pictures.
plus brain plus
Yeah.
blood equals
Cells in
truth machine.
Here's an electrocardiogram.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Look at all that science happening.
Sure, sounds good to me.
And look, I'm not going to argue. This is not the kind of book for that.
Right.
This book is not for you to pull threads, despite the fact that Mark Waid went to a physicist or at least a scientist and asked for specific instructions on how to explain his Golden Age nonsense. So I don't know. It's one of those it's a Schrodinger's comic on the couch today.
Yeah.
It's like, is it
it's like
goofy and fun?
it's like inviting that level of analysis by having that level of detail.
But
Right.
please don't.
But I think it's like, I did the level of detail, so now you don't have to nitpick it.
right.
See,
I'm like,
I
no, that's not how that works.
that's
I
not how
went
that
through
works.
all that work, so
Yeah.
you don't have to question
Yeah,
Right. yeah.
whether or not it makes sense or
See?
not.
I just cut
It
to the
does.
chase.
Except I know it doesn't.
Because it's not.
Because it can't.
Right, because I can't replicate those experiments.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I could measure all that with a machine too, but it still doesn't work
So,
with 100% accuracy anyway.
so Lex Luthor is like, will you help me? And Superman's like, fine, but this is not a get out of jail free card. Like, I'm going to save you, and then you're going away forever. And Lex is like, I wouldn't have it any other way. Also, I filmed this, and it's broadcasting live to everyone on Earth. And everyone's like, oh no, that's horseshit. Like, people are pissed.
They
Yeah.
don't want Superman to save him?
No.
Of course not.
Fuck Lex Luthor. Superman, there are people you don't save because you sleep. And you're gonna save Lex Luthor? Like, are you kidding me?
Well, he should take him to jail, like right now.
Right, but I can't because he's dying and he's on the clock. Like, he has a finite amount of time.
Oh, he has to like work with
I
him.
can study him in jail.
Now I gotta
Yeah.
grab him, I gotta take him places. And
Oh.
that's also Mark Waid's way of like exploring the DC universe, but also not really. Like, we're exploring the DC universe as it relates to Superman, because you'll see Superman and Lex Luthor go to a few key locations. Big set pieces, massive plot points that are super fun to see, and it's a great, relevant Superman story. And then, when those don't work out, because it's the last days Lex Luthor, we get a montage of all the other places he would also go that are only tangentially Superman related because it's technically the DC universe. And it's like,
Yeah, like, I guess I could technically take you to a Lazarus pit.
right. And that's interesting. There's almost a deliberate attempt to extricate as much Batman out of this as possible. Like, they are doing super gymnastics to avoid Batman. Though Batman does appear in one panel, but Batman plays no role in this story
Okay.
at all. People are pissed. The Daily Planet has to report on it. And Superman and Lex have to get started right away because Lex is dying right now. His cells are degrading. So there's like an opinion poll that goes out about
Should we let Superman die?
and then I'm like, oh right, the guy who wrote Kingdom Come has something to say about public opinion regarding Superman and his morality. I happen to like that too, so we're all on board.
Yeah.
But people are like, why? Like what?
What's the result of the poll?
Oh, it's overwhelmingly against. They're
Yeah.
like, let him die. Let him die.
Let him die.
Let him die.
He's a terrorist.
He's an animal.
I mean, that is what most people would say.
Yeah.
Well.
Including me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, why would we waste resources on him?
I get.
He's already a billionaire.
Right.
He already had everything he wanted. Use the amount of time you'd spend on him saving some orphan with cancer
right,
or something.
or cure cancer.
Yeah.
Save everyone.
Right.
You lose everything.
Right.
I'll save you, but you give up all your money.
He says, are you asking me to promise full surrender in return? Are you actually making your aid conditional?
He's like,
That's
no,
not you.
But I am going to arrest you. Like you are going away.
I'm sure you're going
But
to
no,
try.
there's no.
Superman should be like,
conditions.
yes. Yes, I am.
Yes, I'm not gonna let you die.
Well, Lex
That's
says
the deal.
Lex says, I've taken that into account. So clearly Lex has a plan, and he's even letting Superman know that, like, I've planned for you to try to arrest me.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna, like, willingly surrender.
No.
Or I'm not making any deals. You
Right.
have to save me. That's
Yeah.
it. That's the deal. Because I asked you
You
to.
just don't save me.
You just don't save me.
You have to kick a little bit, Lex. So why? Like why? And then we flash back to Smallville. This is one of those versions of Superman's past where Lex grew up in Smallville and Clark and Lex were friends, kind of. But Lex was not a friend. He was an outcast. Sounds like I'm getting full clumped. It's just a chip.
He's an outcast.
He's an outcast, like so many of us.
It's so rough on him.
It's like, yeah, it was just a nacho. Lex was an outcast, and Clark felt like one because his powers were manifesting. And so Clark saw a kinship with Lex, and Lex saw no kinship with anyone.
Right.
And
Lex
so,
just wanted him to, like, leave him alone.
more or less, but he would
he
tolerate
didn't
it because
really,
there's a point that they say earlier in the book about how everyone, regardless of their deficiencies or their deplorable personalities, want companionship. Like, despite their protestations, Lex Luthor did want a friend, even if he's an unmitigated asshole.
Is this a Lex who knows
No.
Clark is Superman?
Nope, he does not. This is a
Nope. They're just classmates.
They're classmates.
What about
That's
in the
it.
future?
Nope.
Never.
Lex never figured it out.
Because if he did, he would have ruined his life.
Yes. Well, maybe. Would I ruin the life of a person, the only person, who was nice to me when I was a kid? Now, obviously, I'm Lex Luthor. I'm above such sentimentality, but I'm also a human being. Am I really, though? So that's an interesting concept that Wade plays with. And I'm like, thank you, literature. So we see, Clark at one point, he discovers a comet. Lex is outside with his telescope back in the day in Smallville. Clark goes over to him. He's like, "Oh, go away, McDonald." He calls him like McDonald, like old McDonald. And their back and forth is that Lex calls him McDonald, and Clark says E-I-E-I-O. Like, I fully accept what you call an insult. Old McDonald had a farm. So did my dad. Like, I live on a farm.
We all live. This
Lex,
is
this
Kansas.
is Kansas.
Everyone lives on a
You
farm.
live on a farm.
You're McDonald too. No! I'm leaving the second I can.
Yeah, but I hate that farming crap.
That's right.
You seem to like it.
And it's funny because, like, okay, so Lex was always a genius. And, like, Clark has memories of, like, Lex attempting, before he became a supervillain, to use his genius for good. Like, he goes to this old man's tractor, and he tries to, like, make it solar-powered, but all the old man sees is a teenager mucking with his tractor.
Right.
Says, hey, get away from that! He's like, I made it solar-powered. You won't have to pollute the air anymore. He's like, I need that tractor to feed my family, you stupid asshole. Get off my property. And he's like, oh. So Lex sees everyone's rejection of his genius as like a personality fault for everyone else. As opposed to, like, maybe you could just try talking to that guy ahead of time. Or
No,
Right.
I'm not
presenting
going
your
to
idea-
demean myself by talking to
Well,
him.
and why should I? My idea is clearly better than what he was doing.
Right. Like
And him
he's-
rejecting it is rejecting me.
Right. And, like, I'm smart.
Yeah.
And he should see that and understand that I know better.
Right.
Like,
Anyway,
why is he acting like this?
You're 13, man.
Anyway, I'm gonna remember this. When I get famous, I'm gonna buy that person's farm and burn it down.
That's right. He probably did. But I love how Clark actually tries to help him out. He's like, if you just presented your idea nicely, he might be open to it. He's like, he doesn't need my help. Like, he doesn't deserve it anymore.
Well, also he wouldn't.
And he wouldn't, yeah.
Like, gonna take Lex's side here a little bit. He still shouldn't have touched his tractor. But if he did, he would have been like, "You're a stupid kid. What do you know?" Like,
Well, yeah.
Nobody would take him seriously.
No, it's true.
Which might be why he acts that way, because it's like, I've been trying that way. Why do you think I act like this?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
people don't take me seriously.
Yeah,
and I know they should, because
right.
I know how smart I am.
Apply the tractor analogy to every other aspect of human life.
Right.
And now
If
you
you're-
know what it's like to be me.
If you're that smart, you know that they're going to react like that to you to
Yeah.
doing this.
No.
Yep,
This
he
all
wasn't
started-
supposed to find me.
Right.
It was supposed to be done before he got there.
Like, this all started when I was criticizing my dad changing my diapers. I was like, well, this is all
You're
just
doing it
completely
wrong. Yeah. Here, let me.
Let me. So,
You gotta wipe front to back.
Excuse me, I think I know how to
right.
change my own kid's diapers.
I don't think you do.
I just shat myself again.
That's on you. Clark,
Clean it up, bitch. He sees Lex
Yeah,
sitting
he see-
alone in a field staring at the
That's
sky.
right. Lex is moping in a field like Achilles in his tent. And so Clark brings his telescope. He's like, here, why don't you look at this telescope? I found a comet. And Lex is like, if you discovered a comet, why didn't you tell it? Like, you didn't tell anybody? He's like, no, I just wanted to share it with you. And he's like, you should call someone, because if you discovered a comet, that would be big news. He's like, I don't care. I just want to share it with you, man. Like, let's just enjoy it. And
What's
he's like,
wrong with you, you idiot?
yes, and I love it because he's like, how did you discover it? And then we see Clark in space and just playing on it.
Right.
Like, I found it. And then I'm like, I know where to point my telescope. But he's just like, maybe this will be a nice moment for us and for you, appreciating the beauty in science. And he's like, fuck you, go away, man. And then he leaves, and Clark's like, okay, well, that didn't work. Oh, well. And it's cute because, like, Clark tries to talk. Clark sees a kinship in Lex. Because, like, Clark is also intelligent, but mostly because he has a super brain and he can read fast. And so he has interesting observations about the world that he tries to share with Ma and Pa. But they can't connect with him on that level either. Mostly because they're, like, just not there,
Right.
They're
Well, they're simple farming folk.
But
Yeah.
they're just like,
And they're also busy.
these aren't our priorities. These aren't like, this isn't how I'm wired to think.
Yeah.
And so Clark is like, maybe I can talk to Lex about some of these observations or feelings or thoughts I've had. Which is why Lex is like, I know that, like me, when you can, you're gonna run from this place and make something of yourself.
And he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but also, like, Clark appreciates the beauty anywhere he is. Remember, there was a time when Clark, like, lived under the ocean.
Yes.
Dated a mermaid.
Unlike Lex, Clark doesn't resent where he grew up.
Right.
Lex,
but also,
like,
But he
hates
also
this town.
chooses not to live there.
well, that's
He
true.
does, yeah.
Yeah, no.
But not out of hatred for it, but out
Correct.
of a desire to explore other things.
Exactly.
Whereas Lex is like, I'm
be
like
elsewhere.
suffocated here. Nobody understands.
And that's
me.
the dichotomy, right? Because, like, Lex's need to leave is from outside aggression, or rather perceived outside aggression.
Yeah, he perceives that people around him.
Don't accept him, and so
Yeah.
he must leave and find greener pastures. Superman, Clark Kent, his feeling of isolation is all inward. Like, it's all himself and his actual isolation. Like, he's not a human being. He has powers that differentiate himself from every other person on the planet.
Right.
So
And he actually can get along with people, unlike Lex.
which is also hilarious.
But he still feels like an outsider in spite of that because of the fact that he literally is an alien.
exactly.
And is not like anybody in so many more ways than Lex is unlike
Yeah.
other people. Like, Lex has one difference between him and the rest of humanity,
Right, he's
which is
smarter.
his intelligence.
Yeah.
Clark has that plus everything
Everything else.
about him.
Yeah, and yet Clark
yet he
still
adapts
manages to be more
better.
human than Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I find it really. Is the comet kryptonite?
No.
No, it's just a comment.
At breakfast, Clark is spying on Lex. And it's funny because his dad is like, hey, I know that look. Quit looking at people. Like, there's a difference between a
You're not
kid
looking at ladies, are you?
staring at a wall and a kid staring through it. And he's like, knock it off. And Clark's like, oh, it's Lex. He's like, he's been building something for a while. Like, school thinks he dropped out because he's been just completely isolated. And he's just been working on something. I can't make heads or tails of it. And Pa's response is basically, don't snoop. Like, leave weirdo Lex Luthor alone.
Right. Well, that's good advice.
I agree. But Ma is like, what do you think he's working on? And the difference and the you know
Oh
why
my God, it's a bomb.
why Clark is who he is. It's not a bomb.
Oh my God, he's Ted Kaczynski.
I'm gonna blow up Kansas. So
No, it's kryptonite or something.
there is a kryptonite core at the center of the machine that Lex is working on. So that was the flashback. Superman then takes Lex for the first time in the continuity of this book to the Fortress of Solitude, revealing the fortress to Lex.
Yeah.
Lex is not aware of it.
He has not been to it before.
The dialogue for Lex Luthor is intentionally glib and cynical. Like he's very sardonic. And that's fun. It's very different from the Lex that I've seen portrayed in other media, even going so far as Superman comics. I like that Wade chose that voice for Lex. It's just the kind of voice I would expect from an evil genius. He's very condescending.
Yeah.
And you set that against Superman, who is so very earnest, and you get comedy. Or at the very least, you get two very distinctive characters.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It is interesting.
It's interesting to read, yeah.
So Superman takes Lex to the fortress and then brings him to Kandor. This version of Kandor is very interesting because the Bottle City has been portrayed mostly like an island under a glass dome. In this case, it's more like a model train set. It's a massive...
It takes up a whole room.
It's a city. It's like the island of Manhattan under glass. And the idea is...
He's like, well, that works a lot better because, like, why would I make it so tall?
Yeah, like what? They just built up? No, they built out.
Why does he have the Titanic in the Fortress of
Why
Solitude?
indeed?
I mean, it can't be the Titanic. It's whole.
Well, maybe Clark picked up all the pieces and then put them back together like a bottle ship.
Oh.
I mean, that's my guess.
And like painted it and stuff?
Yeah, why not?
He's actually
here.
a big James Cameron fan.
Right. Well, I saw that movie. It changed my life. Maybe
James Cameron goes down and takes some more pictures. He's like,
What? No!
what? Someone stole the Titanic.
Maybe he's still working on it. When he's done, he'll bring it to the Smithsonian or something.
Oh, maybe.
If
Maybe
it was
it's like the Titanic's sister ship or something.
if it was
like
Grant
it looks
Morrison,
just
it
like
would have been the Titanic from the past. Like he saved the Titanic.
Oh, probably that.
But it's not. It's Mark Waid. So I think he just put it together and painted it and stuff.
Sure.
No, the outside's fixed.
Don't worry, I left
The
all the
inside's
bodies and the
gross.
bones down there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I just took the ship.
I dumped him out. I picked up the ship and I was like, there
Remember,
we
it's
go.
3 pieces, all right? It's not that hard to fix. Or it's not that hard to dump.
Yeah,
Oh,
use
it's
my
very hard. There's internal compartments and everything.
Yeah, that's what he's working on now. He just wanted to get the outer part done
I
first.
used my super breath to like
Freeze the whole
just
thing.
blow everything out of it.
Bones. No way. That would ruin all the china. No, you
I
gotta...
only care about the skin, the outer
I
side.
blew a very specific pressure.
Yeah, only
Thank
bones
you.
would be affected.
That's right.
Bones
What about
and
the
flesh.
bone
Density of
china?
bones. So anyway,
Bones and ivory. I couldn't do anything
Yeah.
about that.
Superman takes Lex to Kandor. We got to get on the platform, shrink ourselves down, and go there.
Why?
Lex
Because
is like-
Kandor has like super science?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, Superman explains to Lex, like, the Kryptonians didn't really have like a religion, or at least they abandoned it in favor of science. You'd like it here, actually. And Lex is like, I'm sorry, you mean to tell me that there is an entire like civilization from your homeworld that exists here? You can shrink yourself down. Why don't you just live here?
Right. Among your own kind. And
So
leave
when-
us alone.
When they arrive, everyone's like, Kal-El, a liberator, you saved us! And he's like, this is why. I could
It's
never
super awkward.
I could never integrate because everyone worships me.
And I've told them not to over and over
He
again.
does it right there. He's like, please, I am not your savior. I just had
We've
to
been through
do
this.
We've been through this. And you know, they bring him, they're like, oh, Kal-El, our savior, what do you need? And he's like, hey, this guy is dying. We need like to use your super science, trying to figure it out. So they, you know, take him apart at a cellular level, like look at him, and they're like, I got bupkis. He's fucked.
I have a diagnosis. He's dying. That's it.
That was our assessment as well. Thank you.
There's nothing you could do.
No,
His cells are degrading simultaneously.
Here's the
I'm
problem.
surprised it's not goo.
He doesn't want to live anymore. He's given up the will
Oh, no.
to
Oh,
live.
No.
Oh, they're not in space.
Medically, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But for reasons we can't explain, he's dying.
So since the Kandorians
Just
can't,
Uba at him a little bit.
yeah, exactly.
Ooh-bah.
Uba. Since the Kandorians can't diagnose his problem, and he is dying at an accelerated
Also,
rate.
he's not like Kryptonian, so I don't really know if these machines are really
No,
scanning him right.
No, because the machines, they have Kryptonian cows and stuff, I'm sure. Like there's other things that are just slightly different in
I
physiology.
see. They're used to things that are not quite.
And
like
look, they're
that.
all carbon-based life forms at the end of the day. So
Yeah, does Clark like bring them stuff? Be like, hey, I've brought you some penguins.
I mean, maybe.
I shrunk them down.
I
to
don't
enjoy
think
them.
so. I don't think they'd even integrate. You'd change the nature of Kandor. You want to preserve Kandor as it is. Although if you want Kandor to evolve,
maybe you'd want to put a zoo there.
I mean, that would be
an
safer.
Earth zoo.
but it's his menagerie from all the doomed civilizations.
Oh, there you go.
That way, like if Starro gets at it, only takes over Kandor, and then it
Yeah.
can just introduce a pathogen to kill them, as opposed to having to get the Justice League involved. So
Also, plus, like, if I give them ideas of what's on the outside of the world, they might
God.
want to escape.
well.
Yeah,
The
they'd
other
be
thing
like,
was-
wait, how come I can't get big? You can get big and go out there. How come I'm stuck in here?
And that's something we don't really square, because he
just
explains-
let all of us on your re-beginning thing.
Yeah, like how come if you can get big and small at will,
Right.
we can't just
Hey, wait a minute.
boo? It's weird.
That's why you can't have Lex stay in Kandor.
No. So the
start
Kandorians
a revolution.
explain, Superman tries to explain, like, I tried to figure out a way to get them, big and on their own planet, but I still haven't cracked that nut yet. It's like, well, it sounds like just one at a time on the platform.
Would do it.
But,
Yeah, but then their whole city couldn't come with them, and then where would they go?
and the other thing is,
They'd be refugees.
they're also, I think it's like, because they have an artificial red sun,
Oh, there's no
powers.
Oh, it'd be a real problem.
It would be a problem
if there were like a
10
million
Kryptonians
Yeah.
just suddenly showed up. Like they actually did in DC Comics,
Yes.
where it was like, what a great idea until you execute it. Lex is dying. Superman's like, okay, well, we time is not on our side, so activate the Phantom Zone projector. In 10 Dendaro minutes, pull me out. Not him, me. So they go into the Phantom Zone, and Superman introduces Lex to the Phantom Zone. So it's like, all right, Mark Waid is now introduced to a reader who has no familiarity with Superman whatsoever, the Daily Planet, Lex Luthor, Kandor, and the Phantom Zone. All right.
Yeah.
I'm getting the whole picture.
These are all key Superman things.
So they get to the Phantom Zone, and in a few seconds, Lex figures out what the Phantom Zone is. It's like, we're not technically corporeal here, but if we focus our emotions hard enough, we can interact with the environment, kinda like in the movie Ghost.
Or Ghost Dad?
Or Ghost Dad. I'd prefer a less problematic movie that features the exact same premise.
That's a fair point.
Superman cautions Lex that, more or less, there's the prisoners of Krypton who are also here.
Right.
And they'll show up, and they do, and Zod shows up. And it turns out that, while Zod was there, he rallied all the prisoners of the Phantom Zone and created an army. And they hate him so much that they are able to interact with the environment and tether Superman physically to the Phantom Zone, so now they can dogpile on Superman.
Oh no.
And what's funny is, Zod is like, I've heard of you, Lex Luthor, and you should be on my side. Work with me
Right.
here.
I hate Superman just like you.
And also, they don't have powers here. So Superman is just a regular human, or rather has the abilities of a regular human in the
Right.
Phantom Zone.
Really?
So
What did
Lex
Superman
just
think
goes
was
away
going to
immediately?
happen?
Yeah. Superman's plan is, I'm going to leave... Well, Superman did not count on Zod being a general and adapting to the Phantom Zone.
Oh. That
was a
was
mistake.
a terrible mistake.
I agree.
But what else would he want to be in the Phantom Zone for?
He's introducing Lex to the Phantom Zone. He's like, you stay here,
Yeah,
And
the
then-
cancer can't progress.
and when... Well, it's not cancer. It's
It's cellular
Cell degradation.
degeneration
All right.
or something.
Yeah, cancer is...
Let's call it space cancer.
It is kind... I
Or
can't... It's like space AIDS.
Sickness is consuming him. Okay.
Yeah.
It's unique to his DNA. They do say it's metastasizing. I feel like it is cancer. It's a special cancer. Super cancer.
It's... I would say it's a virus.
Interesting.
So anyway, Lex grabs a piece of shrapnel or a shiv of some kind and then threatens to cut Zod's throat. And Zod's like, what are you doing, Lex? You hate Superman more than I do. Come on, man.
Yeah, but this
And
just
Lex,
proves that I'm the better villain.
That's true, but
Yeah.
also, like, I need him. This guy's working on a cure for me. I don't want him dead yet. I will team up with you. When he cures me,
Right.
I'll come back here, I'll let you out, and we'll both kill Superman.
Yeah, I'm going to kill
And
you right
Superman's
now,
like,
so I'm not going to be able to.
right here. I can hear you.
Yeah, and Zod is like, no! Like, Zod is angry at the betrayal, and so he's like, screw you, Lex Luthor! I'll hate you forever! Like, boo! You should have let me kill him and get my revenge right now! And so then, Superman starts getting pulled out because it's been 10 dendo seconds or whatever the hell. And so Superman's leaving, and Zod is so angry at Lex that he focuses his rage so hard that he kicks Lex out of the Phantom Zone. Like, you can't stay here and stave off your disease. Get out! So Lex like, yeah!
Okay, so that didn't work.
No.
So that
we
plan
can't go to-
failed.
we can't go to the Phantom Zone. But thank you for dealing with that. We've answered that question.
Yeah, we got to see it.
And we got to see the Phantom Zone in
Yeah.
action. And I love like the muted color palette and the hopelessness and the despair that's really inherent in everyone who's there.
Yeah, the fact that everyone has to wear the same uniform, so it is like they're a prisoner.
I don't think they have to. It's more like those prisoners were sent there. Those are like, 1,000-year-old Kryptonians who all to wear the same outfit. It's not like, welcome to the Phantom Zone, here's your outfit.
And since things don't break down, you're wearing it forever.
Exactly. And it's they say something like, because it is, you're physically there, but like once you become part of the Phantom Zone, like it's more like a physical manifestation of your consciousness.
Yeah, like you don't age, you don't need to eat.
Yeah, yes, that's right. So Lex like, all right, well, where to next? And one of the doctors is like, Superman, why? Like, why are you helping this asshole?
Yeah.
And Superman then remembers Lex in his little bunker and young Clark being like, Lex, I'm sorry, it's all my fault. There's a guilt associated with Lex that Clark feels over Lex and the path that he was set on originally.
Is Clark green?
No, it's a reflection because he's using kryptonite to power his machine in that room.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, so that was the end of the first issue.
Yeah, so now 2 years later we'll do the rest of the show. So Mark Waid is now like, I'm going to have Lois explain why Superman's important and why people who complain that Superman doesn't kill people are stupid.
Okay.
Because
Lois calling you like an idiot.
Yeah, well, it's like
if you liked Man
No,
of
you're
Steel.
not an idiot, you just don't like Superman.
Yeah, you just don't get it.
Of course I'm getting all these people saying, why won't he just let Lex die? Lex deserves
Yes,
to die.
and-
Yeah.
and-
I hope he dies. I hope he
Yep.
burns in hell.
That's right.
Yep.
Yes, he deserves to die. And I can imagine, and Jimmy is like, Lois, why though? Like, why not?
Right.
Like, why doesn't he just let him die? It's not killing him.
But look, 89% of respondents say Superman should let Luthor die. Yeah.
Yeah. Lois basically explains that Superman has a vow of non-killing because, and we've talked about this on the show, he can. Because he actually has the power to make that kind of distinction.
Yeah, he doesn't have to kill.
He
He
can
can
make that choice.
He can save anyone
Yes.
at any point, and he doesn't have to kill people to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, she also says, well, if he kills Lex Luthor,
Why
then
doesn't he just
not
kill the Joker? Why doesn't he just snap his neck?
Yeah.
Well,
Why-
he's not,
why not Deathstroke?
killing Lex.
Why not Vladimir Putin?
Yeah.
He's responsible for deaths too.
Right.
Where does it end?
Where does it stop? But her saying, yeah, why doesn't Superman just snap Lex
Snap
Luthor's
his neck. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. So it was interesting choice of hypothetical.
Yeah.
There, snapping his neck. Yeah.
Nothing loaded about that whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, Superman goes
Jimmy's
back.
like, that's a really good point. Why doesn't Superman just snap the Joker's neck? I mean, why doesn't he just stop the Joker and put him
Yeah.
in the Phantom Zone or something?
Right. Why don't we just put Joker in the Phantom Zone? It's not like he'd team up with Zod. It would just drive Zod crazy. And then maybe Zod would kill the Joker.
Can you kill someone in the Phantom Zone? I guess
Sure
you
looked
can,
like
'cause
it.
They
Well,
implied
Zod was
that he
trying
about
to.
Yeah.
So we go back to the fortress. They've embiggened, and so Superman's like, all right, well, that didn't work. And so he grabs his Legionnaire ring, because in this continuity, just like in previous continuity, except for post-crisis continuity until it is retconned back in, Superman, when he was a youth, trained / hung out with the Legion of Superheroes in the 31st century, or back in the day, the 30th century.
Right.
But He has a Legionnaire ring, which enables you to fly. It gives you your own personal atmosphere when you fly, so you can fly in space if you don't have Superman powers. And also it has like a tracking device, so you can follow the point in time that you came from. Superman can use his Legionnaire ring to go to the 31st century.
And visit Duck Dodgers.
Yeah.
Well, that's
the
a good-
24th and a half century. So Superman puts Lex in a bubble, like a case with a handle on it.
I assumed Lex would wear the ring,
Right. No.
since Superman can survive in space.
I'm not going to space. I'm going through time. And I'm using my
I need
Legionnaire
my
ring
ring
to
to
do it.
do it. I can't give you the ring because then you'd be going through time.
Yeah.
And I'm not letting you take control of the
No.
time machine.
And wait a minute, we can go back in time. Why don't we just go back in time and stop Lex from messing with the machine?
Well, I can't
not-
do that.
I'm not going back in time. I'm going forward in
I know.
time.
I'm just saying you go back in time and just stop yourself from
No, but
trying to make
I'm
something.
going forward in
I
time.
know.
Aren't you gonna go back in time after you go forward in time? You're gonna come back.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm going back to now.
Right. I'm not going further back.
I'm
I'm
not
only
that-
I'm only
yeah.
returning.
Yeah.
What's the difference? When you're in whatever time you're in presently is the present for you. So if you go to the 21st century from the 31st century, that's time travel.
But man, I can't go back. That already happened, man. It's over.
What?
This is happening now.
Right, in
This
the
hasn't
31st
happened yet. You can go to where things haven't happened yet. You can't go to where things already happened.
I love that explanation
Yeah.
because Lex would be like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
You just scanners. You'd be like, boom. So they arrive in the 31st century and they bump into the Legion of
Which
Superheroes.
looks effing crazy. Is
Yeah.
there ground in the 31st century?
That's just
like,
what Brian
they're not
ditches.
standing on
He wants
anything.
to put a lot of characters on the same page. They're all occupying the same space. Characters who normally don't fly do fly in every
Ethan, you're
splash
thinking
page he does like that.
three-dimensionally.
Yeah. This is-
I got a real problem with that.
so the Legion of Superheroes, most of them can fly. They all have flight rings.
Is
so
it just
yeah.
is it just constant battle in the 31st century, or is
It
this
is-
just a coincidence?
This is just a coincidence that this is happening.
This is actually a dance party.
Yeah, no, everyone's a superhero. They're all having a good time. No, it's a big fun fight, just to see the Legion in action.
Yeah.
And they dispatch the heroes and they dispatch the villains immediately after this. So Superman introduces his friends, and I love it because the idea is that the Legion of Superheroes, they're Clark's childhood friends.
Yeah.
He loves these guys. He grew up with them, and also didn't miss a beat because, Superman went to the 31st century to hang out with them, and spent however much time he needed to become Superman, and then went back in time to his present.
I'd love it if he
was
used
perfectly
Lex's hamster ball like a cudgel and just started beating up the
Beating up
enemies
bad
with
guys,
it.
yeah, exactly.
Hang
It's
on
like,
to something,
"Stop
Lex."
it here!"
He's just like face planted against them. I was like, ugh.
I'm sure there's an anti-gravity thing in there too. So he's just like, "Whoa," just filled with vomit.
It's got a dampening field, like the Enterprise.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure
Trek.
Wade loves Star Trek.
Yeah.
Superman introduces Lex to the smartest man that Superman's ever met, Brainiac 5, who is also, of course, a Kaluan descendant of Brainiac, but never mind that. He's a super good guy. He's okay. He's cool. And so Brainiac 5 analyzes Lex Luthor. It's funny because they all talk about, Superman and how great he is. How he inspired them. The reason why half these heroes have capes is because of Superman. Superman
Even though-
inspired the heroism of the 31st century.
Even though he wouldn't exist if not for them,
Right. Well,
they also wouldn't exist if
he
not
was
for him.
Superboy. He would have been Superman. And the legend of Superman has to happen, and so they will always have been inspired by him.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is why
the-
they go back in time
Like
and
a
gut
closed
him.
loop.
That's
like he
the weird
always,
part.
Man, this Lex is sad.
Yes.
He's like, your friend's like pretending they don't know who I am.
Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, you're Lex Luthor. Were you Metallo?"
It's like, what? No, man, I'm Lex Luthor.
I'm Lex Luthor.
What?
I don't have a friggin' alter ego.
Don't you know the history and the fame of Lex Luthor?
He literally is like, "Well, so what did I inspire the Legion of Supervillains?" And they're like, "Wait,
What?
were you the Parasite or something?" And he's like, "Oh."
What? He says, your friends are a riot. Why would history remember you and not me?
Superman, just let me die now.
Get me out of here.
I don't want to live anymore. It's over.
Yeah. So great.
I'm giving up the ghost.
This interaction it should have been the most deeply humbling experience for him in his life, and it is not. He's like, my life contains no teachable moments.
He's like, okay, so this is the future. I'm gonna change this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm determined
I mean,
now.
that doesn't make any sense, but it's not going to matter because it's not going to happen. 'cause they're
Right.
going to fix it.
Yeah. And then 5 years earlier, Scott Snyder will be like, I like that. I'm going to do something about that. Doom! So anyway, they check him out and they're like, no. Nope, we
Nope.
can't.
Even
Future science, why the smartest person on God's green earth
1,000 years in the future.
still can't cure your friggin' disease.
I don't want to say this because this goes against everything we have and hold dear, but I think there is a God,
And he hates Lex Luthor.
wants him to die.
Yeah.
Is there at least any record of this disease ever happening at any point over the last 1,000 years to any other person?
It's great because
No.
Lex basically goes, why don't you just Google me and see what happened? And Superman's like, he's out of line, but he's got a point. And Brainiac 5 is like, the records from the last 1,000 years are spotty at best. Like we don't have like a lot of information from different periods of time.
World War VII destroyed most of the records.
Exactly. And
not only that, but like, why would I have a record of some nobody?
Well, that's...
Do I have a record of a
More to the
cobbler from
point.
like 1500?
yeah, not really, unless like someone wrote about him, someone noteworthy, and they didn't. So no. Then I think Saturn Woman is like, that is such a lame excuse, Brainiac 5. Why would you lie like that? And he's like, because I can't let Superman know what happened.
Oh, shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh no! So this is all a bit. They're like, oh, when Lex gets here, let's all pretend like we don't know who he is. Are you the Joker?
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Really, we're just trying to help Superman and be like,
Yeah.
this guy?
I love
Who
that.
the hell's this guy?
That's fun.
See?
So Clark Kent must have heard a Tom Waits song, and he decides to check out what he's building in there in the past. And the way past, not the present past, but the actual past.
We're back in flashback time.
Yeah, flashbacks. So Clark goes to Lex's hideout, and he's like, what are you wearing? He's like, can't get in here! Clark is like, I am going to tell Lex who I am.
Oh, why would you do that?
Because he's alone. Like
Because I need a friend and he needs a
Yeah.
friend.
Yes. And in fact, this
Has
is
he not
flying in
met
the face.
Lana yet?
Lana's not in this book.
Okay,
even
but like,
retcon that
he
she
did
didn't
know
exist, but-
her.
Yeah, no, Lana should be here. But also, but Lana's not smart enough to understand what
That's
I'm
true.
going through.
That won't help him not feel as alone as
Yeah.
he feels.
I mean, momentarily, but like, not in the long term. Clark's parents are like, don't tell anyone. That's something that actually Mark Waid like wanted to borrow from the Man of Steel stuff. Not that Pa's like, jump into a tornado, then let anyone
right.
get rescued.
Like, they know he's Superman, but like, don't tell the world.
Well, yeah, don't share your secret.
Yeah, that's not safe.
That's not safe. We don't know what best to do in this situation yet, but I can tell you this. It ain't telling Lex Luthor, the town outcast.
Yeah, that kid's weird.
That kid's weird.
That kid's straight up weird.
They are
I
like
don't
that.
want you to tell him anything.
I don't want you fraternizing with that kid.
I
He's
would rather you
weird.
didn't talk to him at all, but if you have to, you're not telling him.
That's exactly what they're like. And so he's like, I'm going to tell him. And maybe that'll make him feel less alone. So Lex is like, I have built a wormhole generator that will allow me to find other worlds, and then I can go there because I don't feel that this is how alone I feel. I'm going to abandon this planet made specifically for the life that I live and go to another civilization in another galaxy.
Wow.
I mean, like,
it's understandable that he can make farm equipment work on solar power. I get that. But a teenager building a wormhole machine? No.
Well, but first of all, he's a super genius. But also he has access to kryptonite. And that's what's also helping him. Like, he is using the kryptonite as the heart of the machine, and it seems that the kryptonite has opened a portal, I think, to
Krypton?
Krypton in the past. Which is like Birthright.
Yes. Okay, that would make sense.
Which tethers it a little bit to Birthright.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
so he opens up the portal, and Clark is immediately affected by the kryptonite. But once Lex introduces Clark to the kryptonite, he immediately gets sick.
Yeah.
And he's like sharing for the first time, opening up to Clark. He's
Yeah.
like, this is amazing, we've done it, yes! Even you can appreciate this, you stupid farm boy!
Right.
So,
Right, I'm gonna
That's right,
leave this
McDonald.
horrible
Yeah.
rock. Yeah. Whoa.
you threw up in my portal!
I mean, it is pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm
I guess
excited
you're
too.
overwhelmed.
I mean, I crap my pants, but Lex looks over at Clark And Clark is like, get it, yeah! Like he's shielding himself from the kryptonite.
Ah. Yes.
And Lex is like, oh. Like, you think I'm an asshole. Like, he immediately...
Like, you're scared of me.
You're scared of me. You think I'm freaking out.
You're like the farmer.
You're like the other people.
Yeah.
Like everyone else.
Yeah.
Why don't you get the hell out of here? And so he kicks Clark out, then powers up the machine, activates the wormhole, opens up a portal to Krypton, but it overloads and causes a fire, which, of course, burns his hair off.
And just his hair...
And
nothing else.
Yeah.
His skin is fine.
It just leaps onto his
die.
head.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. That's because that's radioactive kryptonite fire that burns his hair, and only his hair. But
Not his eyebrows.
It's hair destroying fire.
that's right. But only
On the top
hair,
of his head.
only head hair.
And in a way where...
eyebrows.
Yeah, not face hair.
Well, the eyebrows grew back.
I mean, his eyebrows aren't burning at all. It's just wrapped all around,
Yeah.
just like this. What's really great is it burns his head so bad that hair can never regrow there, but no scars.
None.
Yeah,
None
exactly.
whatsoever.
I could see Lex getting a skin graft. Maybe there was a big, horrible scar.
Oh.
And he's like, yeah, and then I killed someone, and I took his back or his scalp, and I put it on my head.
Let
but
me
if
ask
that's
you
the
this.
case, why don't you just get a hair
Get one with
transplant?
hair. I got used to it.
Yeah, I owned it.
Unfortunately, I also stole the skin of someone who's bald.
Irony of
Really,
irony.
that was all my fault.
That's on me.
That's on
I
me.
didn't check that the guy had hair before I stole his scalp.
Anyway, so we see that this is the feeling that Clark has. This is where the guilt comes from. You know?
What? Oh, because he allowed Lex to
jump
think
to a
that
conclusion.
he was mocking him when he was
At his most
poisoned
vulnerable.
by the kryptonite. That's not
Because
your
Clark
fault.
was so
Oh, I know.
sick, he couldn't help.
Yes. And it
and made it
Lex
look
sad.
like he was rejecting Lex,
Yeah.
when in fact he was just trying to protect
And it's
himself.
like, if I had just told him who I was a couple of days earlier, and that's Clark's whole thing, is like, if I had told Lex that there is life on other planets, and it's right here, and he's talking to you, maybe he wouldn't have built the machine at all. And that's why he
No,
feels so
Lex would have been like,
Interesting.
you mean there's life on other planets and you still choose to be here?
Right, you're an idiot. Life on other planets, stupid.
you gotta take me there, Clark.
Either that,
Take me there or I hate you.
it exploded. It's gone. I'm the last that's left.
That's bullcrap. I saw it. Well, he hasn't seen it yet.
Right, but
But
then
I
I
think
did.
you're lying to me.
Yeah. So we
I
see-
expected Superman to be like, oh, I freaked out and I pushed the kryptonite away
right,
and
exactly.
I broke
caused
something.
No, it's all
No,
Lex. Lex
it's
asked
all
for it.
Lex.
Yes, that's right. That's
That
right.
sucks.
I know,
I
it's-
wish it was Superman's fault.
No, it's not.
No, it can't be.
That's what's so great about
But
it.
then he
Lex
would
has to be the
actually
cause of
have
his
guilt.
own
no, he does.
isolation.
He has exactly as much guilt as he would if he had.
Plan to tell him who he was.
Because as far as
and he
Superman's
didn't do
concerned,
it.
his inaction caused it.
Yeah, or his like delay
Yes.
in telling him. Like I had the thought to tell him, and then like
And then I was violently poisoned.
Well,
Yes.
no, but I had the
No,
thought
but he
before.
should have done it before. He
I
would-
had the thought like days before.
Yes.
And I finally got up the nerve to do it. But if I just like
Told him.
got myself together.
If I told him that night with the
sooner,
telescope.
Yeah. When I wanted to, when I had the idea.
Yes.
You know, and it's that regret of like not taking advantage of the opportunity, and then this horrible tragedy, which he doesn't blame on Lex for some reason. happens.
Well, because he never would. I think he might not have built the machine at all if he had
right.
known not to look for other.
What's
races.
so funny to me is that like, but like, Clark, that reaction he gives you here in that
That's
moment
him.
tells you like this was always going to happen. If it wasn't this, it would
would've
have
been another
like,
machine.
You and this guy were never going to be able to get along.
That's right.
In the end,
Yeah.
it would have been something.
Well, that's
but he hasn't learned
certainly-
that lesson yet. Maybe he
No.
will.
yeah, you can't open up to him because he doesn't want you to open up to him.
Yeah.
Right.
He thinks he's better than you
No,
forever.
well, you
Well,
see him
yeah.
in this moment when Lex is in the lab, talking to Clark about.
Yeah, he
this.
is. Yeah,
He is opening up to him.
Yeah, he's
It's
talking
working.
to him like he's excited and like, you're my friend. I'm letting you in to
Yeah.
see all this stuff.
I don't know. I kind of think he's talking down to him.
I mean, he's always
He talks
doing
down
that.
to everybody. Yeah.
But
Exactly.
But
But
that's
he
like
is talking
habit,
to him.
and he's a child, so you can imagine him being able to grow out of that. Maybe if he'd had a chance, but he doesn't get a chance because of
Because
this
his hair's
horrible,
gone.
tragic incident that happens to him, and
Yeah.
just cements his personality in this.
Yes, in this
stunted
canon event.
state.
So does he not blame Superman for his hair? He blames Clark Kent for his hair
No,
loss?
no, that's what's interesting. He doesn't blame either of them. He blames himself.
Yeah, because he knows it wasn't Clark's fault. He's
Yeah,
not
no.
that crazy.
Yeah, no, he never talks to Clark again, but he also doesn't blame Clark.
Okay.
Yeah, because it wasn't Clark's fault.
No.
He
And
kicked
Lex
Clark
knows
out,
that.
and then he
And
proceeded.
Clark refuses to learn that.
No. Clark just knows that there could have been another way. And because I didn't do it, we'll never know if it would have been effective or not.
Right.
And that's the tragedy.
Yeah.
So they...
And then, of course, Lex goes on to become like a
a
supervillain,
mass
so it gets
murderer.
so much worse.
It's so much worse. Yeah, that's
You
right.
can imagine if Lex had just been a normal person after this, or not anyone. Like,
Well, he might have
Superman
told him at
wouldn't have
some point.
thought about it at all afterwards.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like,
No,
well,
he-
then I lost connection with Lex, and I never really heard from him.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt a little bad, but whatever. But instead, it's like
Like all of us.
And then my decision to not reveal my identity to him sooner had ramifications for the whole world.
Yes.
Like, it ruined everything.
Yeah. He's killed hundreds of people. He's caused trillions of dollars in property damage.
Yeah.
And
all
yet-
because I couldn't get up the nerve.
Yeah.
He's always hated me.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He's a piece of shit. So he's like, all right, well, that didn't work, so I guess I'll take Lex to Paradise Island and strong-arm my friend Wonder Woman into using the purple healing ray on him.
Oh.
What?
She's not going to
Let
do
me guess.
that.
Now, and if they tried, somehow it won't work.
I mean,
What? So
there's a reason he didn't start with this idea. He
Yeah.
knows it's a
Oh,
long
he
shot.
knows it's an overreach. So he brings...
He knows it's an inappropriate ask.
It is an inappropriate ask. So he brings a man to Themyscira and...
Like, you're not even supposed to be here.
That's right.
You brought Lex Luthor?
That's right.
You and
So
your frick
I have to
mind?
get like a special weekend pass just for you.
And I can't land. I have to float wherever I go because no man is allowed to set foot on the
Right.
island.
And he's like, technically, Lex is still in a bubble. He's not setting foot on your island.
That's right. That's right. So they go to Paradise Island, and Wonder Woman meets him in the air, and she's like, "What do you think you're doing?" And he's like, "Well, so..." She's like, "I have orders. The Justice League has orders from the governments of the world
to stop
to
you.
arrest him.
Wow. Well, he should be
Whatever
under
you're
arrest.
doing is over now."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Listen, Diana, before you get started, I need to use the purple healing ray that is sacred and devoted only to your people on this mass murdering psychopath because I feel a little guilty about something I did when I was 13.
And then we can talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But I need to do that
Then I'll
first.
listen to what you have to say, but
so
I
she just hauls off and punches him in the face. She's like,
Yep.
"How dare you ask me that?" And he's like, "I'm sorry." She's like, will the world be better with him not in it? And he's like, "Probably."
Yeah.
You kind of have a responsibility to let that happen then.
Right. But I can't because I'm not a weapon. And you can't weaponize my inaction. She's like, "Damn."
If I let you
People are-
stop me.
People are dying every day.
She says that right here. She's like, "You let people die all the time."
There's people who are sick right now that you're not curing.
Right. You're not taking on a magical mystery tour through your past and interesting and rogues gallery.
Yeah, 100%. There is so much fallacy in what he's doing now.
If some little girl came up to me and was like, I'm dying, I'd help her too.
Yep.
No, I would. I
Right.
just didn't see.
Yeah,
I just
so-
don't see all of them.
So it'd be like The Godfather, where like there'd just be a line of people outside asking him for favors.
Well, that's why Lex
did all that
That's
shit.
why Lex had to do that. He's like, look, I know.
Yeah.
You can't just like have people call you on the phone because you'll never be like free to do anything.
That's right.
That's why I had to trick you into talking
That's
to
why
me.
the Force of Solitude is actually a secret, as opposed to it normally being
But
a
I
thing
found
that everyone
out
knows about.
a secret way
Yep.
to get your attention. I killed some people, and now I said the magic words, and now you have to help me. You're like a genie or
I got
something.
you. Yeah, and I broadcast it so everyone does know,
Yeah.
because
There
it'll
you
make your
go.
life inconvenient after you save me. So she's like, "Give me Lex. I'll do it in honor of our friendship, but this was a big ask. Like, this was not appropriate. But I respect what you said and how you're Superman. We owe you. So I'll do it. Go do something else for a little while." Now, this would be a great moment for Wonder Woman to snap Lex's neck while Superman's gone. But she does. She
I
brings-
didn't make that promise.
Yeah, exactly.
Kill.
So she actually ends up wrapping Lex in the Lasso of Truth and brings him to the healing ray, and they have a little conversation. It's a great chat between Lex and Wonder Woman, where Lex basically is like, "Wow, I'm a regular guy on this island of Amazonians, and you've roped me up. Like, what are you afraid of?" And she's like, "You're the one who's afraid. You're radiating fear." And he's like, no, I'm scared. I'm really scared. I'm more terrified than I've ever been. God damn it.
Hey, get this thing off of me!
Stupid lasso.
And
This is a violation.
Oh,
This is a violation of my mind.
he wouldn't be able to say that.
I deserve all of this. Damn it!
It's completely appropriate, and I wish it was applicable in many different situations.
The world would be a better place if you could put a lasso around everybody.
What?
Yes, I deserve to die. Oh.
He's on the cusp of mastering interstellar travel.
I'm going back to
So
my...
still working on that.
Still working on that. I just want to leave.
Interesting. Don't people go to other planets all the time in the DC universe at this point?
He went to the future.
This is the Black Label Superman universe.
Right. So no, I guess.
Except we definitely see.
Well, there's Green Lanterns and stuff, but like they don't share their space travel technology
That's
with Lex Luthor, and he hasn't cracked it on
Why
his
would
own.
they? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he hasn't gone to like, Darkseid's planet.
That's right. We've never seen Apocalypse. I mean, it's in this, but
Right.
anyway. So Superman becomes Clark Kent, and he just like goes to work. He goes to like a party, and
Well,
while we see Superman chooses to use like his downtime to be Clark, we watch as Diana like justifies Superman's morality and existence to Lex Luthor, and explains like what Superman sees when he looks at people. That like humans inspire him, and they make him brave. And Lex is like, "You're lying," and she reveals that she's wrapped herself in the lasso too. And he's like,
yeah, but you don't know.
No,
they were just saying what you think he thinks.
He just shuts up. And
Yeah,
when
you believe it.
When Superman comes back, he says, "Did he say anything interesting?" She's like, "Not really, but like, I will say this. Truths elicited from the lasso tend to stick."
Something about them being forced to verbalize them.
Tends to hang around. The lessons that Lex Luthor might have rejected from an honest conversation with Diana might have more impact now that he was magically compelled to experience it.
Interesting.
So Superman takes Lex to his ex-girlfriend Lori's house under the sea.
Oh my God, we're really reaching at this point.
Well, he's like, "We got to use magic," and Lex is like, "Oh, I hate magic." "Wait, you're weak to magic." "I love magic." "Who are we gonna meet? Dr. Fade, Zatanna?" And he's like, "No, we're gonna go to Atlantis, and we're gonna deal with fish people." And he's like, "Oh, Aquaman?" "No."
Nope.
Lori Lamar's my ex-girlfriend, who's also princess of a special city in the continent of Poseidonitis.
Tritonus.
Yeah, we're going to Tritonus, which is a sister city to Atlantis, which is part of the Atlantean continent under the ocean.
Oh yeah.
Poseidonus.
Poseidonus.
Which
Sure.
is actually, this is all, if there's a reference in this book, it happened in an actual Superman comic book
Right.
that Mark Waid read and or owns. So Superman goes to talk to Lori. Of course, they're under the ocean, so they can't talk. The Atlanteans communicate through telepathy.
Right.
So,
Wait, they don't talk?
well, they can talk, but they're under the ocean. They'd be like,
Yeah, but the Atlanteans like breathe water.
yeah.
Their vocal cords must work like that.
Yeah, but she got to talk to Clark. Clark's got to talk back. Telepathy. So they talk to each other, and they have this cute little tender moment between the two of them because they have this deep, rich history. Lori's married to the ruler of Tritonus, but he's cool with them, with Lori's relationship with Superman. Not that like they bang.
No,
Right.
just being like,
but they did.
here's the thing. I appreciate the fact that my wife knows someone powerful like Superman.
Right.
If we're ever in trouble, I have a backup ace in my pocket.
That's true. And it's like, look, I don't know if it's better or worse that your wife's ex-boyfriend was Superman. Like,
considering she's a mermaid with the fish part on the bottom and the woman part on top, he's just like, it's cool.
yeah, you know what?
You
This isn't
can't
gonna
bang
work.
her.
There's nothing. I'm not threatened.
They can only do Finn stuff anyway.
In our
Well,
culture,
why
that's
couldn't
not
she
even
be
a
the
big
other
deal.
kind of
We do that
mermaid?
on-
With the fish part on top, the woman part on the bottom.
So Superman crams Lex into a underwater suit that's like a spare Superman suit. It also looks conspicuously like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it does a little bit. That's weird.
Yep. Well, because it's red and blue.
It is red and
And
blue.
it's like
so.
the way the arms.
But it's
have
exactly
the
where
coloring.
I'm like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
So, but Lex.
Oh,
of
and I can
course-
fire little like harpoon tethers. It helps getting around underwater.
Yeah.
You have to make that hand motion?
Yep.
Yes.
You gotta do the thing. Yep.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. No, I got the idea from that time I met Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Which, if it's Mark Waid, it's like, it all happened.
Sure, that happened. Why not?
No, because Mark Waid is not Grant Morrison. Grant Morrison's like, oh, it all happened.
Yeah, but this fish girl, that definitely
100% happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lex is, of course, very sarcastic about like this tender, beautiful, open relationship that Superman has with Laurie. He's like, I thought you were always with Lois. What's her name? I didn't know you had a side piece. Like, they're, just diminishing their relationship.
Yeah.
And Laurie's husband is like, have a care. Like, don't blaspheme my house, okay? Like, this is a great man who treated my wife with great respect. They have a deep connection that is nothing like the deep connection that I have with her.
Right.
And we owe them a huge debt and all this other stuff. So anyway, what are you going to do? So they have to go down to the depths of the ocean and find like a fruit or something that if you eat it, it might cure you or something. So they go down there. They fight. Yeah, because it's like a
magical blah blah blah.
It's a magical mythological fruit. And so they go down there and they have to fight like a big crazy fish monster. And anyway,
they better not save Lex, because if they do, he's gonna come down here and like harvest that stuff and sell it.
You've given him all the secrets.
You've given him the keys to the kingdom.
Yep.
You shouldn't tell him what you're doing.
Yes, exactly. Or
why do you have to bring him with you?
Because I can cure him right now. Like, I don't want to risk
also
losing.
The Justice League will arrest him if I know.
That's very true. Or someone will just sneak into his room and kill him.
Yeah, Superman essentially has to keep Lex under constant surveillance.
Yes.
So other people don't murder him.
It's more or less in like the witness protection program. So they fight this big mythological beast. Actually, what's cute is Superman is being attacked by it, and Lex heroically distracts the monster for a few seconds so Superman can get free and then save Lex from certain death.
Who's now in peril because he
saved Superman. Yeah. And Superman's like, what was that all about? And Lex is like, I assume that you're a super intelligent person because of the speed you have. So a few seconds would be like a few hours for you to concoct a scheme to escape from this thing. And I'm like, what?
And your scheme was blast it with your heat vision.
I mean, yeah. Also, no, you're not the Flash. Superman isn't constantly living in like a time bubble, because if he did,
why not?
He'd never be surprised.
But if he couldn't do that, then how could he function moving at such high speeds? His brain wouldn't be able to process his position from 1 second to the next. He'd be crashing into things.
Because he's impervious.
Right. Yeah,
he does crash into things all the time.
Yeah, birds mostly.
Yeah, just smashing into people.
Why do you think I fly in the air? I'm not flying at like city level.
Exactly, I'd hit shit. But like nobody noticed a bird strike 30,000 feet in the air.
I think Superman doesn't have to live that way.
But he can.
But when he's in a situation where he needs to like be able to think for an hour,
right,
and he only has a second, he can do that.
Yes.
That would be my interpretation.
That's weird he didn't use that when he was training with Muhammad Ali.
Well, I guess it doesn't work.
No, but instead it's like it heals the mind and the heart. It doesn't then make Lex not insane and evil, but it does open his mind because of all the telepathy going on.
Wow.
So he sees like Superman and his love for humanity and everything, and it like causes him to throw up the fruit.
Does his heart grow 3 sizes that
It does
day?
not, but it does make him cry for a minute. And
well, then okay.
Anyway, your fruit's disgusting.
Well, I appreciate that.
So then they leave, and they're like, all right, that sucks. That didn't work out. What are we going to do now? Then we get a 2-page montage where it's like, oh, also we talked to like the Owens and like the people from New Genesis and like
why would the Owens
Ranians.
help him?
Why would...
Superman had leverage over all these other people
Yeah,
by dint of being friends with them.
Yeah.
He has no leverage over the... Well, maybe he does from some friggin' story that
Also, the Owens would look at him and be like, no, he's a villain.
He's actually wanted. Thank you for bringing him here.
He's under arrest. We have the entire Green Lantern Corps here. he goes to the Dominators.
What are they gonna do?
Right?
Maybe they could dominate your illness.
They also go to Mixus Bitlick.
Ah.
And I'm like, okay, no.
Now you're reaching.
Mixus Bitlick would be able to do it. Now he might be an asshole about it.
Right.
And make it into some kind of stupid Q-esque game.
The challenge there is getting him to do it, which he would not do, and that's why that wouldn't work.
And that was like a nightmare. It was a mistake to do it in the first place.
He's the last one I went to. I knew it wouldn't work.
But I asked.
You thought the Purple Ray was my last hope?
No. I asked Dark Side. And
what?
Dad laughed at me, I guess. Like, I mean, they're just there. It's
also,
like,
Darkseid would be like,
no.
We don't cure people on Apocalypse.
I'm not sure why you brought him here.
Yeah, we're not big in on healing methods here on Apocalypse. You know, space hell. But maybe Highfather will do something.
Yeah, Metron.
I had Light Ray go really fast.
Scroll that.
So they go back to the Fortress of Solitude, and Superman's like, I think you're gonna die. And Superman's inability to save him is frustrating him. So Lex is like getting under his skin. You know, he's like, yeah, I bet you couldn't figure it out anyway. Like, you did it on purpose, and you like left me to die. You wanted me to hang out with you so you could just gloat and watch me fall apart. He's like, shut up. He's like, oh yeah, yell at Lex Luthor, the poor puny human whose cells are exploding. And he's like, I've tried everything. Let me try this. And then he puts on his Clark Kent outfit.
And then he punches him.
Oh.
Lex goes, McDonald. Clark says, E-I-E-I-O. And he's like, no. No. That doesn't make any sense. And he's like, and Clark basically...
And then he buries his head in his hands. No.
Oh my God.
No. Oh God.
That's impossible. Clark basically tells him what we all talked about. Where, you know, he's like, I should have made you my... I should have talked to you like a friend. And I should have shared the secret with you. And instead of doing that when I should have, I've locked us in this eternal battle. And I've doomed countless people to death, including you.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And he's like, I'm really sorry. And he's like, you're sorry. Even when I'm dying, you're going to condescend to me. You make it all... My death is all about you and your guilt. Oh, boo-hoo, Superman.
I mean, fair. He is dying. You're talking to a dying man about
like,
how guilty you feel.
Right, and he's like, this is amazing. No, what are you talking about? My life's been great. And knowing that you felt bad about all these years only makes me feel even better.
Wow, what a dick.
So then Clark stumbles and he smashes into some of the crystals and he cuts his hand.
Oh.
And he's like, and he tries to use
what?
He tries to use the super hearing and it's not working. He's like, oh my God, you son of a bitch. This whole thing was a trap. This whole thing was a trap. You tricked me. You invented something that has been siphoning my powers and giving them to you. What have you done to me?
But he doesn't seem to be powered.
No.
He seems to be almost dying.
No, he also is like sweating. He's like hot and like uncomfortable all the time, which they assumed was him just, you know,
succumbing to the
illness. So Superman punches Lex Luthor across the room and talked about and accuses him of betraying him and tricking him and, you know, being full of shit. And he's like, dude, stop. I have no idea what this is all about. And then Brainiac shows up, smashes open a wall.
Oh,
and he's
okay.
Like, Lex Luthor was right. It is a trap, though.
Yeah, he's not lying. He didn't do it, but it is a trap.
It is a trap.
But I gave Lex Luthor the cellular degeneration.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's why you can't cure it.
Yes, I created a virus and infected Luthor with it. And what it's doing, and what it has been doing since you've been near him the entire time, it's been siphoning your solar radiation. It's been siphoning your powers given to you by Earth's yellow sun and storing it in Lex Luthor's cells, which are exploding. I'm killing Lex.
The closer he is to you, the more he dies.
And you.
And you.
Oh my God, this is great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brainiac then reveals his diabolical scheme, and it was make Superman mortal because I can't imagine a worse punishment. And then I'm going to unleash my drones across your shitty planet. And I just got beamed this movie called The Matrix recently. So I got this great idea from it. Because your brains are amazing storage devices. And so what I like to do, as you know, is my modus operandi, is I find a planet, I grab a city, I miniaturize it, I learn everything I can from it, extrapolate your weaknesses, and then I destroy your planet. I could learn so much more and store so much more information if I took every man, woman, and child human being on your planet, reduced them to a brain with eyeballs in a jar, and just use them as storage devices. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to siphon every human being on planet Earth and put their brains in jars and use them as hard drives.
I mean, that's not a bad idea, but if you're stealing the brains, are you
Why do you need the ocular nerve?
Are you taking the person with them?
Oh, I took their bodies, I killed them, and then I take their brains out.
You can just clone brains.
He could clone them, But
Well, no,
You just make one giant brain.
No, in order for your brain to efficiently store information, it has to
need
have
to
lived a life. It has to learn how to like
it needs to
incorporate
create
stimuli
folds and
and
stuff. It's gotta be a
yeah, but what happens to like the crazy brains?
I wipe those and then I fill it with information.
Yeah.
I'll cross that bridge
filter
when
the
I come to it.
brains. Okay, there's no other species in the galaxy that.
Oh no, there is, but Superman doesn't care about them.
Okay, so it is petty.
Oh yeah,
It's not
no,
just
I'm
simply
petty.
practical.
Oh,
100%.
yeah, I'm a piece of shit. But I chose Lex because we're both Superman villains, and I thought you'd appreciate it.
It's
True,
like
you will die.
it's a team up, but
Kinda.
it's kind of a one-sided team up.
You
Yeah,
are
yeah.
kind of killing Superman.
Right? You're welcome.
It's kind of like you wished on a monkey's paw to kill Superman, and I'm the monkey's paw who's like,
Result.
okay, but you have to die for it to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
won't be
don't know, I
around
like
to
that.
reap the
Well,
benefits.
you already wished. So,
Is this why the Justice League in the future, or the
the Legion?
Legion, we're just like, we can't tell him what happened
Yeah. Because he would freak out.
because he dies too.
Or he won't be able to
It'll
live
change
with the
the
amount
future
of
or
deaths that
something.
occur after this.
He says humanity is the ultimate poison, almost like humanity is a disease.
And we are the cure.
Yeah, this is very Matrix.
And then they get accosted by spider
Brainiac
creatures.
drones, that's right.
That doesn't look good for them.
No, it does not. But Superman's like, that's okay, because the Justice League exists. And Brainiac goes, oh, do you mean this Justice League? And all the League are in tubes. They're not brains, thankfully,
Right.
but they
Well,
are.
they're shrunken into tubes.
They're held
he
in
giant?
tubes. They're shrunken.
Okay. Oh
And I
boy.
love it because, like, no Batman, but there are at least 2 Flashes.
Yep.
Brainiac's like, I don't have to worry about Batman if I leave Gotham alone.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll save Gotham for last, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. I shrank Gotham.
Yeah.
I assume Batman's in there.
Batman didn't even know what happened.
Yeah, he's just in the cave. He's just doing his thing. There's still purse snatchers.
I'm
and
still
stuff.
doing stuff.
Yeah, he's working. He didn't even know. It's been a week until he's like, I haven't heard from Clark in a while. So Superman recovers his Legionnaire flight ring, grabs Lex, and flies away. Lex grabs like a universal communicator and starts whipping up an anti-Brainiac device because, as he says, like if Radio Shack still existed, he could conquer the world. Like, you know, I'm MacGyvering this bitch.
Sure.
It
Meanwhile, Superman,
looks like he's creating a flute.
It
does,
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's thankfully not. If Morrison was doing this, it'd be a harmonic flute that he would sing the song that ends the earth. So Brainiac's ships go across, they're just grabbing people and just again, you see like in the ship, it's got like he's got a special dedicated hook that just stabs people through the heart and then just dumps their heads or brains into jars.
Well, yeah,
Oh
I don't need the
God.
rest of the body, just the brain.
Well, yeah, exactly.
People
But I
are
gotta-
very vulnerable.
around
Well,
here.
pretty much everywhere.
Oh yeah, but I can't kill that brain, so it's like right here is where I gotta stab you.
Yikes. How many people has he done this to?
Oh, hundreds,
Oh,
or at least dozens.
he's gotten a good start.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, I needed to test it a couple times to get proof of
Yeah.
concept.
Exactly. So Lex activates his anti-Brainiac machine, which turns off Brainiacs and stuff. And Superman and Lex like board Brainiac's skull ship in the middle of town.
So now it's a team up?
It's a team up between Superman and Lex Luthor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they're both dying.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately, Brainiac is really smart and has developed like a self-healing system within himself. So the anti-Brainiac device that Lex uses to get into the building is no longer functioning, and so they're overwhelmed by Brainiac machines. And I love Lex desperately trying to work it, like, oh, this is impossible, but I made it, so why isn't it working? And so Lex gets to watch Superman just like use the last ounces of precious power and strength to fight off robots and protect Lex from them.
So yeah, Superman says he gets a little power back.
Yeah.
He's fighting off Brainiac's infection.
Yes.
Interesting.
And it's like, do you need to be told you have cancer for your cells to try and fight it? Like what?
Maybe
I didn't know, so I succumbed.
maybe if he's not in close proximity
Right.
to Lex.
Right, but and that's actually true.
but he
like,
is near
well,
Lex.
we're teaming up. I need Lex in
But
order
he's
to
not
stop
like
Brainiac.
carrying him around right this second. I mean, he was a second ago, but now they can.
Yeah, but
can
he also
walk.
had him in a jar most of the time. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
it's pretty.
Yeah, but it's not a lead line jar.
It wasn't before either. It was transparent aluminum.
It says, my body was fighting off Brainiac's infection, giving me back the tiniest fraction of my power.
Yeah, Superman's telling the story from the future. So he's just like, my body was fighting off the infection. It allowed me to keep some of my power.
Okay. Okay, so it's like I'm not permanently this way. It's like I got sick.
Yeah.
And my antibodies and stuff are now
battling this this Brainiac created infection that Lex Luthor is transmitting.
So it wasn't ever gonna kill me.
It did depower.
It was going
to. It depowered me, and then Brainiac was gonna kill me when I was a human, but I escaped, and now I'm my window of vulnerability is like.
I mean, technically, he's been around Lex this entire time, and he hasn't diminished in strength at all.
No, that's true. But we also haven't seen him really activating his strength very much. He's not fighting a lot of things. He did fight that big fish monster.
Giant fish monster, and that was close towards the end.
Yeah, but remember that big montage?
There was that montage.
They went to Mxyzptlk and Apocalypse and Genesis.
So he didn't really degenerate until that, and then maybe he just didn't notice that he wasn't doing too well until he got to the Fortress of Solitude. Okay. All right, so now it's a robot book. There's robots
now it's just
everywhere.
And you can see like where that time went because like there's a double-page splash of Superman kicking a robot in the face while being overwhelmed by at least 13 other robots, and it's just like, oh my god.
I have to admit,
it's great.
It's a nice action sequence, but the robots don't look that great.
I mean, they look like the robots.
They look like they're wearing like weird robot helmets.
You just don't like the design. That's just what Brainiac looks like.
They are faithful Brainiac robots.
Yeah. They're great looking for the design of Brainiac robots. Or drones.
Yeah. Are they controlled by Brainiac? Are they
he gives them orders and they do it. But they're not like hilarious or anything.
Are they like
they don't have
Are they him?
Like battle droids.
Are they him?
No. They just work for him.
Okay. Yeah, I like those ships better.
Yeah, the skull ships
that design. Yeah, the skull ships are awesome.
Yeah.
Man, they killed a lot of people already. There's just bodies everywhere, like hanging from hooks and stuff.
Yeah, it's
look at all those brains and eyes.
Dark.
Yeah, it's super dark.
The eyes are so that you can't not realize it.
Yeah, like you are aware.
Yeah.
Like if you were a brain, maybe your conscience is tucked in there somewhere and you can dream.
Right.
But if you have eyes, you can see the fact that you're in a jar.
And you can't close them.
Is he gonna have to save all these brains and put them back in these people somehow?
We never see that.
There's a line where Superman says, "My God, we have to save those people."
And Lex is like, from what? How?
Says we can't, not this way, implying that maybe there is a way.
I mean, you put those two eggheads together, maybe they'll figure something out.
Yeah, okay. So they escape.
And Lex is like, we gotta go to my lab and wherever the hell. And Superman's like, we destroyed that lab. And Lex is like, psh, oh ye of little faith. When I build a special lab, I build a smaller dummy lab on top of that lab for you to find. So we go to the real lab underneath the last lab that Superman defeated, and they figure out that Brainiac is siphoning power to run his skull ship, like the mothership, and all of his operations outside the sun. He's pulling solar energy from the sun and using that, because he's like, in order to run an operation of this scale,
right,
you need massive amounts of power. So we just got to go to the sun and break break the connection between that and its solar siphoning system, and then defeat Brainiac.
Okay. I'm just saying, using the solar power to power all of his ships is exactly what I was trying to do with that farmer and his tractor.
I'm just saying.
It has legs.
Yeah, so actually I'm just going to build the same machine.
Yeah, but like way bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to run all the tractors in the world, and I'll own all the farms and all the food, and I'll still be the richest man alive.
Yeah. It's a great moment where they're talking because they need to build a great machine, which they always do. And, Lex says something like, I do wish you told me who you were back in Smallville, but it wouldn't have made a difference. And Superman's like,
my guilt's gone. Hooray.
That's what I said. It wouldn't have made a difference.
No, Superman says, yes, it would have. Maybe I wouldn't have felt like as much of an outsider. And he's like, tell me about it. Because Superman felt like one too. Lex is like, but I still ended up with everything I ever wanted. And Superman's like, yeah, except for me being dead. And Lex is like, well, there is that. And Superman goes, how's that working out for you? And they don't talk for the rest of the time that they're working together. Because Lex's strength is because at some point Lex's strength is left him. He can't manipulate simple tools. So he explains to Superman how to build the machine that they need to stop Brainiac.
He should be able to telepathically communicate with him now that he ate that fruit and just be like,
he heaved the fruit.
Here you go.
Yeah, he threw up the fruit.
Yeah, he only could
do that. Yeah, but he consumed some of it.
That's true.
He had the ability while it was in his stomach, and then he threw it up and he didn't have it anymore.
Right. So they get the machine finished, and he's just like, all right, so how does this thing connect to Brainiac's ship? And Lex is like, it doesn't. It's what it really does. It's a power transfer machine. I'm going to dump all the solar radiation in my cells back into you so you can be Superman and stop this problem, and I'll die. And Superman's like, that's back where we started!
Yeah. Then why did I do all this?
I can't let you die! And Lex is like, your antiquated, horseshit, phony baloney morality has no place here right now. People are brains in jars.
By the thousands.
It's insane. We don't trade lives. Are you insane? 1 for $1 trillion. How about that, jackass? Pretty good trade. Just make the deal.
It's not 1 trillion people.
No, it's not, but it's like, come on. Trillions of potential losses.
Billions.
Billions.
Billions, maybe. I give
He's
you
like,
that.
your morality makes no logical sense.
Right. It's insane.
It is. And Superman, like, begrudgingly uses the machine with Lex. You know, he's just like, nah. And he makes a couple of modifications. Superman says, I'll never come back from this.
And that's when Lex is like, I know, that's how I win.
I mean, more or less, he says, like, we all as human beings make these kind of sacrifices every single day. So this can be yours. And
Right.
so
you can sacrifice one
life
principle.
of the worst person on Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I saw the poll in the planet. 89%.
Come on.
I don't want to come back from this.
It just broke me.
89. Come on.
Come on.
89% of people can't agree on anything.
And 7% were undecided.
So they stick their arms in the machine, they activate it, and it explodes, and they're both like, ugh. And so Superman gets up. Lex seems dead, but he's not.
Yes, seems dead.
According to the plan, yes.
And so
I mean, technically, if he transfers the power back into Superman's body,
Right.
his cells will stop exploding.
yes, but quite a few of them have already exploded. So Superman takes Lex outside and puts him into the sun, and then Lex is like, oh my God, I never felt better. What's going on? And Superman's like, yeah, I transferred my power to you.
Oh, that's a bad idea, man.
And Lex is like, you gotta be kidding me. And then he blasts the area with heat vision. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Wow. That was not a good idea.
Everyone is like, what? He's like, what? Why would you do that? And he's like, we're gonna need a brilliant genius scheme to come up with this.
Wow.
And the two of them have this funny like back and forth, where like Lex goads Superman into an argument, and he's like looking at the city being a night. He's like, no, we don't. Okay, come on, let's go. So Superman pops on his flight ring and joins Lex, and he's like, wait, so you coming? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, does that thing make like a thing around you to protect you from space? Like, yeah. He's like, okay, good, because you're gonna need that. So they fly out.
We're going to space.
We're going to space. We're going to the sun. So they fly out to Brainiac's skull ship together.
Okay.
Technically, Superman, just based on his physiology, should be able to recharge.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, yeah, because he said that he rewrote Lex's cells.
Yes.
So it's like, well, that sounds
Okay,
like
that's
that doesn't
good
have
for
anything
him.
to do with you.
No, but he does like dump the rest of his power into him. Which I'm like, what does that mean? There is no switcheroo.
Yeah.
Where like because Superman is up in near because they're at the sun, Superman like is
Becomes
supercharged,
Superman again.
or he goes into the heart of the sun and
Right.
makes a super suit or anything.
No, he would die. He's
He
just
would
a
die.
man.
That's right. He has a little bit of Superman power.
Ah.
That way he can like shoot heat vision a little bit.
Oh.
That way he can say, my power is completely depleted. So they go to the skull ship and they attack it. And the idea is that like one runs interference while the other one disconnects the solar thing. And so Superman has to fight a whole bunch of Brainiac drones outside the ship while Lex severs the ship's connection to the sun.
Okay.
So that's what happens. Lex
fight.
also goes to Brainiac's lair, and Brainiac's like, there's an intruder alert. How is that possible? I'm at the sun. And Lex's like, hi, asshole. And Brainiac's like, no. Why
There's
would
no
he
way.
do that? That's
I
a terrible
couldn't
idea.
have planned for this. I'm the smartest creature in the universe.
And I never would have guessed that. I never would have seen that coming.
I'm smarter than both of you, and I didn't see this coming.
Which is also kind of like why Superman does it, I think. It's like, well,
He won't see that coming.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
To be
That's 'cause
fair,
it's a really bad
none of
idea.
us did. Because the second you give Lex your powers, if you win, he's going to kill you.
He's going to take over.
Wow.
So
he doesn't like you.
No, I love Lex like attacking Brainiac, and he's like, this is for making people into brain jars. This is for like siphoning my cells and almost killing me, and this is for the worst of all, almost making me and Superman friends.
This is for me losing my hair.
So yeah,
I didn't do that. I don't care.
I'm taking it out of someone. Brainiac's like, so you're Superman now, huh? So I guess you're vulnerable to red solar radiation, and then like blasts him with solar radiation.
Yeah.
And basically what happens is, Lex grabs like a piece of shielding from Brainiac's ship and like wraps it around Brainiac. He's like, there, that's the end of that. Superman takes the last ounce of his heat vision and just blasts it into the skull ship, destroying half of it and getting the attention of Brainiac. He's just like, this is it, Lex, I'm out of power, I'm gonna die now, or at the very least I'm gonna run out of power and asphyxiate in space.
Yeah, it's a real shame I didn't see my power level decreasing on the side of the page.
If only I had like a little device on my head or something. So, Lex wraps Brainiac in like the shielding and then throws him into the sun, and while they're like skimming the surface of the sun, Lex is like, I'm absorbing so much solar radiation that I'm converting my heat vision into gamma radiation. Like it's because Brainiac has like a shielding against heat vision.
He's resistant to heat vision.
He's like, yeah, but this ain't heat vision anymore.
This is like super heat vision.
I'm shooting you with gamma radiation now. Just burn, and that's gonna break through your shield, and it does. Lex
he lands on the moon. Yeah. They were near the sun.
The sun
and
has
then it goes to the moon.
Intense gravitational pull.
So they fly over to the moon. And
it's more that the moon is really far away.
It's really far away. So Lex like smashes Brainiac into the moon, which causes like a massive crater. I'm very thankful it doesn't crack the moon in half or anything.
That would be unfortunate.
Superman then just like lands on the moon, like he flies really fast and gets there. And Brainiac is now just a severed head in Lex's hands.
I'm gonna put you in a jar.
Take out your brain and shit. And Superman's like, well, there you have it. You have a second chance at life, and you have my powers. You can do anything you want. He's like, Emperor Lex. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Or Earth-destroying Lex. Like, I'm gonna be such a problem. You have no idea. And Brainiac's like, I have a counteroffer. You could rebuild me, and then we could team up. Like, you have no idea. You never had a friend like me. And Lex is like, nah. And Brainiac's like, well, I had a feeling you were going to say that, which is why, like, my body is about to self-destruct with, like, the force of, like, 1,000 suns or something. Like, it's not really, because it would destroy the moon. But my body's going to self-destruct now, and it's going to kill both of you, so bye. So there's just a massive explosion, which you can see from space.
On the moon.
And so then, Clark Kent is back on Earth, and he's been writing this story and talking about it. And
oh yeah, I forgot. He's narrating the entire time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's explaining that like the Justice League was freed, and they saved the day, and I don't know about those jars. We don't really get closure on that.
Well, you are gonna break some eggs. We'll try to make
a lot of people died.
Meanwhile, Superman survived. There was one survivor from that explosion. It was Clark. No harm done except for his permanent loss of powers. But Superman is confident that the Justice League will make up the difference. And so then Superman, like a week or so later, Superman holds a press conference with the rest of the League announcing that he's leaving he's like, I'm out. He doesn't say, I have no powers.
Out.
Superman out. I'm done. But the League is going to be just fine without me, even though this book justifies that there is no way that anyone but Superman can solve most of these problems.
Superman, why are
we're not
you...
taking questions today.
Oh no.
But why would you do that?
Right. So then, and I love it because Clark's writing that story, and he like accidentally spills coffee on himself, and he's like, damn it. It hurts.
I hate this.
I hate being mortal.
That sucks.
And they're like, follow-up question. What's up with Lex Luthor? And Superman's like, you won't have to worry about him anymore. And then we cut back to what happened. The explosion envelops Superman and Lex Luthor, and Lex pushes Clark out of the way and says, tell no one, and then erupts into bones.
He does erupt into bones.
He was just outside the explosion radius?
He was just at the edge of the explosion radius.
Well, I think the idea is that like, he shielded him with his, Superman-powered body, which if the death and return of Superman is any indication, that should have transferred all of his powers into Superman. But there are at least two different holes you could write yourself out of.
I mean, he transferred the powers once. It should go back.
Should go back.
Also,
No,
we
he
didn't
transferred them
change
with the great
Superman's
machine, though.
But like matter cannot be created or destroyed, so that energy had to go somewhere.
And we didn't change Superman's physiology.
No, he changed his cells. He
changed
swapped
his
his
cells.
cells. He swapped his cell structure for Lex's.
But also maintained the structure that was his body, so he didn't look like Lex or anything.
Right.
Yeah, I guess they should have just changed brains.
Yeah.
By doing that, their thoughts were reversed, and now Superman is in Lex's body. That's gonna die.
No, because they
and
also
Lex
had
is
to
in Superman's body.
Yeah, but we want to kill Lex and keep Clark as Clark Kent.
Yeah, he had to cure the disease, but it doesn't make any.
All that matters is
There's only way to do it,
there's the only way to do it. Lex dies, saving Clark.
and Lex is
It
dead.
worked.
And Clark has no powers. Lex, basically, Superman sacrificed his powers
To save Lex
Lex, who then
Saved
sacrificed
him.
himself to save Superman.
That's right. And then it ends with Clark looking up at the cosmos on the farm with the telescope.
And he has a memory of looking through the telescope with Lex, and Lex is
yeah.
smiling. It's like
Right.
the one time he was happy.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, when they saw a comet together.
Yeah, and Clark sees another comet, which I'm like, what does that mean? Is it like a harbinger? Is it just a sweet moment? It's a sweet moment.
Is it pieces of Brainiac ship?
Is it Lex Luthor's skull? So yeah, sweet little story. Big story actually, but
Yeah.
you know.
Big epic in scope story.
So
Yeah.
if Lex's bones, can Superman just put those bones in like
The machine?
sarcophagus and just sort of like regrow a body around him?
I have to bring him back. I
Like a Kryptonian coma?
have to spend
he's
the rest
dead.
of my life bringing him back.
Reconstituting Lex.
Does he have his bones inside the Fortress of Solitude?
I mean,
he
does
should.
the
That'd be
Fortress of
awesome.
Solitude not recognize him anymore?
Can he get there? It's in the middle of the Arctic. Like,
you can get into the middle of the Arctic.
yeah, you're gonna need like resources to do that. You're just some reporter now.
He knows Batman.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
that's true.
Oh, he knows Wonder Woman.
He can get there.
He's probably
Are the
constantly
machines gonna
asking to leave
respond
for
to it?
rides.
Well, and like, how are you gonna be able to do half the shit there? Like, are you gonna be able to like deal with the Kandorians? Like,
Yeah,
these
like,
poor
all-
people are stuck there.
Is he with Lois? I'm trying to figure this out in this book. He's like, at one point, he's like, "You tell him, Lois."
Yeah.
as
I
he
mean,
watches her, but then it's like, "Are you guys?"
Well, and Lex says, "Well, I thought you were with Lois. What's her name?"
yeah.
I guess they were dating, or maybe it's just one of those like Archie Andrews Golden Age Superman things where it's like, yeah, no, Lois and Superman date sometimes.
So is that her in the hospital with Clark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, she's crying.
She is
And he's like
crying.
clearly kind of like conscious because he's so upright. Like maybe she's crying because she's like, well, now everything that I love about you is gone.
I didn't love Clark Kent.
I love Superman. So like this is their breakup, actually.
That's why she's crying.
not
She's
asleep.
crying because she's like, "How am I gonna tell him?"
He's not asleep. They just broke up, and she's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you have no powers." And he's like, "Oh, wow, I really thought you were cool."
I thought, man, my
had
whole
some-
life is.
I'm
a
gonna
lie.
write such a scathing article.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about what a bitch Lois is. Ace reporter Lois Lane sucks.
News at 12. Yeah. It's.
Maybe he takes over the family farm now.
I think so. I think he
that
just
seems
goes to
to be-
Kansas and
yeah,
he's like,
he's-
all right,
Yep. Well, no more reporter.
right? Like,
I guess he was only doing that so he could live in Metropolis and save people.
yeah.
Also,
yeah.
he was only getting scoops because he was Superman.
Well, and he was only working for the Daily Planet because like that had like first response information about disasters.
Right.
He wrote the
true.
best article he's ever going to write. You know, the death of Superman. More or less.
The way this panel structure happens, where he's at the Daily Planet writing a story on his laptop, he spills coffee on himself. He says, "Ow." Thinks for a second,
And then goes
cut
to Kansas.
farm. He's like, "That's it.
Yeah.
I burned myself. I'm not doing that reporter thing anymore. Screw that dangerous job.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work on a farm."
You know, where everything can kill me, from the
Yeah,
animals to the machine.
But I learned from my dad and my mom.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually better at.
I don't actually know how to be a
realistically,
reporter.
I'm way better at being a farmer.
Most of my stories were about,
Superman
having
doing
connections
stuff.
to Superman, which was a cheat.
Yeah.
I can't use that cheat code anymore.
Right. Oh my God. What if I had to write an article about Intergang? I might get killed. Now I'll just tend to chickens and yeah.
That's why Lois
Milk
broke up with
cows.
him.
He's like, I'm
really?
going to Kansas. I'm gonna be a
Being a
farmer.
reporter is too dangerous. I gotta go.
Whew, this sucks. Wow.
Lois
Only
also
reported
lasted
because
like
you were
what,
vulnerable?
3 months
Yeah.
Great.
before some assignment got her killed.
Yeah.
She would have been killed like 30 times if not for Superman.
That's why he had to tell her. He's like, yeah, listen, I'm Superman. I don't have powers anymore.
You gotta ease up.
Yeah.
On the
Or make friends
sneaking
with,
into
like-
places and shit, or make friends with Wally. I don't know.
Wally, Martian Manhunter, I don't know.
Yeah, but
this train has left the station. I dig it. It's in the comments down below. It might be one of Brian Hitch's best looking books in the last few years. I think I said that, but it's a gorgeous book. It's really fun. And it's a really nice treatise on Superman. Like,
Here's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
You have a very fun premise at the beginning of the book.
you were sold on the third act. You were like, oh, Brainiac!
This is the great part. Issue 1
Yeah.
is compelling.
Yeah. Superman has to save Lex Luthor. Oh,
Chooses
no.
to.
Yes.
Chooses
well, he's
to.
compelled.
Exactly.
Yeah, by his oath or whatever.
Issue 2, they're going through all these steps to do so,
Yeah.
and none of them work.
Right.
And then you find out, oh my god, it's Brainiac the whole time. And in the beginning of issue 3, when they're fighting the Brainiac robots, I was like, this is getting kind of lame. Like, you were ramping up so
then they switch it up.
And
Now
then,
you're
like,
just
you're
punching
just
robots.
fighting robots?
I know, yeah.
That's kind of a letdown. But then it ends like that of
Yeah.
what they have to do, and I was like, okay,
Oh,
this,
you got me again.
This really reeled it in.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, look, you gotta show a robot fight if Brainiac's gonna be involved.
Yeah,
and, like, that's gonna
they're
happen.
gonna punch. I mean, this is like Superman's greatest hits.
Oh yeah,
like
no, it is
tour.
the 10 Trials of Hercules. Like, it
Yeah.
is just watching Superman mythologized by Superman's greatest champion, Mark freaking Waid.
Yeah, so like, he was gonna. I should have known Brainiac was gonna show because there hadn't been any like Brainiac stuff.
Yeah, outside. Well, I think,
know.
and I think that the reason why we needed to have the Legion in there, but I think that it also served as a function of putting Brainiac 5 in there, so you wouldn't think about Brainiac. We had a Brainiac.
Yeah. See, Brainiac was mentioned.
Brainiac, whoa. Yeah. Oh, that explains why Brainiac's not the villain of the story.
Right.
Boom, Brainiac's the villain of the story. Oh, cool.
Oh, wait, he is.
Brainiac 5 to Brainiac is like Ultron 8 to Ultron.
That's right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next time with another episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Keep reading.
Did you tell him it's in the?
Oh yeah, no, I mentioned it.
Okay.
It's down, but
It's down below.
But down there, buy it.
Buy it.
Get the hardcover. It's a big, beautiful
It's
black label book.
gorgeous. Yeah.
And yeah, you're getting Brian Hitch to spend 2 years drawing it. You got to give him the oversized format. It's so weird how selective the black label oversized format is. Like, when it debuted, it was like, oh, they're all going to be huge. Right. And then Scott Snyder and Craig Capullo's triumphant PS to their entire Batman run, normal size. And I was like, what? Wait, what? You didn't go big? You gotta make it bigger.
Then we'll go big later.
Wow.
Buy
No.
it small, and then in 5 years we'll release a big one.
Yeah. We
you could buy that
cropped
one, too.
it for TikTok. Like, we only made it a normal size, but there's actually so much more.
I'm really glad you left the dust jacket on, because this just spoils the fact that it was Brainiac the whole time.
That's true.
That is
I've never
true.
looked at the
That's a good point.
cover without the dust jacket. Oh my god. Now, that being said, I mean, by the time you got to Atlantis or Tritonus, you would have been like, so we're going everywhere. All right, well, when does he fight the robots?
I didn't think of it. I didn't see it
But
coming.
you know what? Didn't give it away.
Didn't see it coming.
And my only complaint, really, about the art is that clearly Brian Hitch drew a naked man, because I can see Superman's belly button.
Yeah, that's
and
how tight his
That's how
suit is.
tight it is. And I'm like, I don't like to think about it like that. Like, I know that you
That's why the underwear is extra.
Yeah, because
Abs are fine.
You'd see a
but this,
dick outline.
This level of detail is
Hey,
too
Black Label.
Yeah,
Except we still can't show dicks.
that's right. No,
No.
yeah, we did
That's
that
the
one
one thing
time.
we know
oh my
about
God.
Black Label.
We yeah, no.
It's the only rule.
Yeah, seemingly that's the only rule. The only restriction on Black Label, besides the fact that, like, it better be about Batman, is
Or maybe sometimes Superman.
or Superman once in a while.
Yeah, but mostly Batman.
Is this the Superman that came to Earth and was born
Oh God.
from his parents?
Like
Like,
from
or was he genetic material in the ship?
was his ship an incubator?
No,
in this?
no. This was as mythologized as possible. John Byrne is responsible for the incubation pod, so that Superman is technically born on American soil.
Right.
And
Okay,
therefore
good.
can run for president.
Because I was concerned. I was just like, but if he doesn't have an umbilical cord, technically he wouldn't have a belly button.
Oh, I know. I agree.
Oh.
Yeah, they always forget that. It's
Is
so
he?
weird.
Well, the ship had an umbilical cord in it.
Yeah, no. Just
I mean,
conveniently.
Can you be technically born if you come out of a machine?
I mean, we call the process by which you enter existence birth.
Birth.
Yeah. We call coming out of a hole.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be a hole. I mean, sometimes, look, C-sections, right?
Right.
According to Shakespeare, Macduff is not born.
Right.
Because he's not woman-born.
That's according to Shakespeare.
He is untimely ripped.
How many people do you think died in this book?
Tens of thousands.
At least, right?
Right. I'd say probably at least 5,000 people.
I mean, that was a lot of
Between
ships.
what Lex murders and who Brainiac murders?
Yeah,
I mean, mostly Brainiac.
Okay, so the Skull ships are at like at least 4 human cities.
Yeah.
Right?
And there's at least like a dozen of them in each city.
Yeah.
Probably
so-
more like 50, because in each shot, there's like 10 skull ships visible.
Yeah.
So,
and like based on the size proportions, you could probably fit like, what, 100 people per ship at least?
at least, yeah.
So 100 times 50.
I mean, are we talking about how many bodies
Holocaust.
they can fit, or how many brain jars they can fit?
Oh, right? Yeah, because they probably just throw the bodies in the street.
Yeah, they just dump them afterwards. You're just seeing like
It's a conveyor belt. It's like a slaughterhouse. They just go
seeing
through.
this
They get
skull ship
hooked.
just shit out corpses.
Yeah. They go up. They get hooked. They get dumped. Brains. Yeah, we could fit like probably 10 times more brains than bodies.
I mean, look at the number of brain jars.
Just over here alone.
And that's already happened. That's what's already happened
Yeah, that's
here.
what they're already
hang on.
And then it's like
achieved.
hours.
Yeah.
Hours of this.
Yeah. This is ruthlessly efficient.
He might have hit a few million people.
I think you're right. I think it's at least 5
20
to
to
10
a rack,
million people.
so it's 80, at least 80 to 100 in a single pod there.
Right.
So that's
And there's
1, 2,
6 of
3,
those.
4, just in that shot, not in here.
Yeah.
So the ship has to hold probably around 5,000 brain jars. At least.
Right.
I mean, it would have to. Otherwise, what's the point? Because
Yeah.
it's trying to get all this hard drive space.
That's true.
You need a lot.
You'd run out of shit to download. Like,
Well,
most of space is empty.
I'm getting the hard drive space here for other worlds.
I know.
I'm gonna be
I'm
filling
setting
it
up a
later.
data
No,
center.
I'm saying when you go out into the world with your hard drives,
Yeah.
you're going to find some spare drives because
Well.
there's not enough stuff to write down.
I mean, so far.
Yeah.
These are comics.
I'm selling.
Space is chock full of shit.
That's true.
I'm selling space to the galaxy.
Right.
They need a lot of hard drive space in the whole galaxy.
Yeah.
You know.
Plus, I can probably mine the multiverse after that.
You know what? I'm just going to surround myself in a nebula, and I will be the cloud. I'll be the storage spot that everyone uses.
That's true. I'll be the cloud everyone talks about.
Yeah.
Yeah.